a black man like me. That's right. And it's worth something.
This is Black Watch with Commanding General Yahanna, the only man to lead blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans.
God made man on this earth. The white man ain't make man. God made man. God wants man to obey him.
Bringing you real news.
We don't need a black man in the White House. You need a black man in every black house.
For many years, there's a lot of black people who didn't realize how deep the racism of white America was.
You ain't gonna do nothing unless you decide where you gonna stand at with the Most High.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Righteous solutions to issues plaguing our nation.
Boy, you better wake up and see the power that is within blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians.
Join us every Monday from 9 to 11 p.m. Black Watch. Let the show begin.
What's going on, Israel? ISUPK.com is the website. I got to give another shout out to my man, General Shalmar, who's been working on it hard with his team, man. You know what I mean? Y'all be patient with the nation. We will bring it forth, okay? We will birth the new website like you birth a child, hell. And it will bring forth and be useful to the nation in many, many ways. I heard there was a few haters out there from you fake Israelite groups trying to criticize as usual. Nobody hears you. Let me just let you know. Nobody cares, okay? Because you need to stop the hate and come on into the body and act like you understand what is going on. I'm Commander General Yahanna. I got the helm, man, and it is an absolutely, absolutely wonderful day for the Most High. We got a lot we want to get into. I got a few people calling in, Lord allow, Dallas about the floods, Alabama about Louisiana. Alabama about the events that took place down there with the brothers. They'll be calling in. Things are popping. We coming closer to the end. Big shout out to Captain Tazariak. Next week, Times Square, UPK up in the building. We about to rock New York. So listen, if you anywhere within, a decent distance, you need to get ready to get up in the place. And even if you are a distance, it's going to be on. I mean, they got that thing organized to the max. They got a boat ride going on. General Muhammad will be up there throwing it down on his Thursday night class live.
It's Friday. They told me.
Oh, Salaki, they moved it to Friday. So it'll be Friday for General Muhammad. That'll be kicking off. You know what I'm saying? I already rented a car. Big shout out to General Q. We get ready to roll up in there. I cannot wait. I'm over there going over old tapes of Times Square. I got Times Square fever. I got Times Square fever, General. You understand? To go back and drop it, man, and to recognize what was done that was so righteously done and will be done again. You know what I mean? And continue to be done, especially now. Now is the best time to be speaking. Why? Teaching, prophesying, all that. Why? Because now we live in the prophecy. Back in the day when we was first getting it out, we was just believing in what we read in the scriptures. Now we live in it. Now it's happening before your eyes. That's why I got Dallas calling in, because they getting flooded out there. Okay? They flooding all out there. All kinds of stuff is jumping off. We're going to get into it tonight. Got Officer Marah in the building with his main man. Yediah holding him down. You understand? Various other officers and captains up in here holding them down. We trying to kidnap them, keep them on board. They getting up in here pretty often. You know what I mean? We pulling it late night. But, hey, man, we do it for the brotherhood because, you got a lot of brothers and sisters on the East Coast that, otherwise wouldn't, their time zone is different. You got a lot of brothers and sisters over in England. Their time zone is different. You know what I mean? Big shout out to Mashak, my young man, putting it on with the shows, the tapes, the whole video department. You understand? Building the show up, making it strong. I got to get these accolades out, man. Brothers trying to work hard. Get this work done. Big shout out to Napatazar and his squad holding it down over there in Ohio. I think where they at now? Ohio. Holding it down, man. That cat there is another diehard, man. That Napatazar brother, it seemed like he just can't stop. You just can't turn him off, period. He seemed like he just rolls. You know what I mean? And works real hard. And that's all the brothers in the UPK. You know what I mean? Just a few brothers getting highlighted tonight. All right. I got it out my system. Come on, you die. Bring me on in. Where we going with it first?
Colonel Wakan, sir. Missouri pastor says congregation is poor, broke, busted for not buying him a luxury Movado watch.
I think you got video footage of that, don't you?
Colonel Wakan, sir.
Please pull up the video, please, while you read that story.
Colonel Wakan, sir. Carlton Funderbook, the senior pastor at church,
that's how I know you.
The Well issued an apology video Tuesday for his inexcusable remarks in an August 7th sermon. It's the pastor who had said his congregation was poor, broke, and busted.
Salaki, I didn't mention the heavy hitters. What the hell is wrong with me? General Muhammad in the building. Salaki, y'all. General Muhammad in the building, y'all. Salaki, y'all wasn't gonna say nothing, huh? Y'all was gonna charge me later. See that nigga ain't mentioned us, right? Go. Salaki, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. Yeah, let's rock that footage, y'all.
I ain't worth y'all Louis Vuitton. I ain't worth your Prada. I'm not worth your Gucci. You can buy a Movado watch in Sam's.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
And y'all know I asked for one last year. Here it is the whole way in August. I still ain't got it. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Let me kick down the door and talk to my cheap sons and daughters. I don't want to hear no more excuses about what y'all can't afford. You can't afford it because you don't see the value here.
Wait a minute, what did he say? You can't afford it because you don't see the value here. You don't see the value here. See, they took a little hurting. Can they hear me more? They took a little hurting after the COVID. They ain't getting that cheddar strong like they used to. The fact, like he said, they don't see the value. The value's a little lean on them right now. Go ahead.
Y'all hear from y'all pastor and father, I'm over y'all. I'm over your cheap expression. Good evening. My name is Carlton Fun. See, that's how I know you still poor, broke, busted, and disgusted, because of how you've been honoring me. I'm not worth your McDonald's money. I'm not worth your Red Lobster money. I ain't worth your St. John knit. Y'all can't afford it no how. I ain't worth y'all Louis Vuitton. I ain't worth your Prada. I'm not worth your Gucci. You can buy a Movado watch in Sam's.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
And y'all know I asked for one last year. Here it is the whole way in August. I still ain't got it. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Let me kick down the door and talk to my cheap sons and daughters. I don't want to hear no more excuses about what y'all can't afford. You can't afford it because you don't see the value here. Y'all hear from y'all pastor and father, I'm over y'all. I'm over your cheap expression.
Man, there's so much to unpack in that little evil sermon on what he just laid out. Was amazing. Like you got to serve his carnal ass like you would a pimp. Like he wants some good pimp stuff. And it show you how carnal he is. Just to start, he's so damn carnal that the things that he wants are carnal stuff. Gucci, Movado, garbage. You know what I mean? Stuff that some white man said is valuable. Stuff that, like a watch is a watch. If you need a Movado watch, it's because you need the reputation of a Movado, which show you how you're going to be a man of God and have such low self-esteem that you got to have Gucci and Prada and Movado or whatever the different labels he was talking about for you to actually even feel like you have some value. And here's what's even worse. And I know y'all going to jump in. What's even worse is that he only believes that you have faith and are worthy to be in there based on what you can give him. Like what you put in his pocket is what makes is your faith in God to him, not to the Lord, but to him. Y'all want to jump in?
Please
Get in. Please get in. It's
And this
crazy.
is the thing that always shocks me so much, which lets me know I don't understand people not in the UPK. And that how does someone follow him? Like that one is worth studying. That I've never even heard of a Movado watch. Tell this clip, but they follow men that are so effeminate. Like that's the part that blows my mind. In that you ain't gonna tell me that women don't know that that's feminine when you care so much about fashion and designer things. And if you have someone that cares so much about them that it supersedes your belief in God, then he has to be effeminate to the people that go to church. Like people that go to church don't believe that he is fancy like a woman. They gotta know it. There's no way that they don't look at him. Like a woman knows if you in the mirror too much. You know what I'm talking about, right? I go, if a woman is married to a pretty boy,
Right.
and she'll say like something like, "You in the mirror more than me." You telling me that those people go to church and know that the only people in church that care that much about fashion and designer and Gucci are women and the pastor. And they still follow him. Fake Israelites have the same thing, where they follow some closeted homosexual, and I don't get it. I don't understand why they don't look at him and go, well, he's a sissy. I can't, provide all of his sissy needs. So my job in life is getting him more Gucci, more purses, more Gucci, more Movado, more Louis Vuitton, like a goddamn woman with a shoe fetish. I don't get it.
Listen,
I don't understand.
let me break it down,
Please.
because it's crazy. Here's what it is. Those women that sit in those churches are vain like you've never seen before. Like they vain on another level. And then let me show you the psychosis. They are so vain and they want to be such a diva and such an it girl that they need this preacher to be a it girl for them. Like damn near they got to live through his reflection of what they would be. Like that's what make preachers rich. Because you so dumb, some of you sisters, and so vain that you know you'll never be the it girl. You 50 and then threw your husband out and you're a monster and nobody really likes you. Your kids don't even like you. And you come to church every Sunday and you dress up and you can't never get a man. So you get an alternative. You now get to take this man and make him everything you will never be as a woman. And now he gets to be the it girl and you get to be associated with him. So now you could validate your stupid vanity. Now you can be a bitch at work, nasty to the person in the coffee shop. Now you can just be a monster whenever the hell you feel like it. And you feel justified because God is with you, and look at your preacher and look at your big church. And then you go home and be the evilest person in the world. This is the epitome of vanity, y'all. This right here is for women that are full of vanity and selfishness and carnality. That's who's in that church right there. And listen, and he's preaching right for it. Like he ain't talking about, y'all can't help us get a van in here. We got people that's trying to come in here and learn. Y'all can't help us get no books in here. You understand? So, Bibles, can we get a case of Bibles? I've been asking for the case of Bibles for 2. He ain't saying none of that. I'm not talking about us in here. I'm just coming up with stuff with them. He ain't asking for none of that, because that is not going to motivate a vain ass piece of garbage female sitting in them pews. She ain't there to help nobody else. She too goddamn vain to help anybody else. She's there to fulfill her vanity. And if you don't fulfill her vanity, she's not coming to church. Like she's the epitome. Them women that sitting in that church are the epitome of self-centeredness. And so he got to be that. And he know it. That's why he's saying, y'all can't buy me. He's saying, get me all of this. Otherwise, I already know this church ain't going to stand. If I don't get that rose, if I don't get that, and guess who else is just an expert at the same thing? Your friendly neighborhood pimp. Like your woman, that whore goes out and sells her ass to give that pimp that money because she lives, her vanity lives through his greatness. That rolls he pushing, them furs, the gold, the diamonds, she gets to see that and be associated with that, and her vanity gets to say, you're somebody. That's such an evil, evil thing that's among us, man, that is really killing those women. It's really killing every last one of those women, okay? And listen, okay, the average Christian church job is $1 million operation. The average BS Christian church is $1 million operation. They all getting paid off of these hordes of people. And people that got good jobs, like this ain't, they ain't fishing the poor. They ain't fishing the brokenhearted. They fishing corporate America. They fishing sports athletes. They fishing entertainers. That's who's sitting up in there, buying them jets and cars and, suits and shoes and everything vain. And that's why being a preacher is such an easy and good job for a homosexual. Because a homosexual who's already, the whole reason homosexuals are flamboyant is because they're already wounded. Their self-esteem is destroyed. So because their self-esteem is destroyed, most of the time from child molestation or rape, they got to fight for self-esteem. They got to make themselves something. That's why they work so hard to become actresses and actors and work so hard to become entertainers. Why do they work so hard? Because they self-esteem been destroyed by this molestation or this rape, that they work real hard and they'll perform as much as they have to so that they can now be loved or now be recognized as something. Because otherwise, when they go home at night and they turn off the light at night and it's just them and that bottle of liquor in that room, they feel like the filthiest piece of garbage because of what happened to them, because of that molestation, because of that rape, because of that harm. So when they wake up in the morning from that nightmare of the life that they are, they need to go out the door and become somebody to say, I am not that person. And guess what? Homosexuals know how to do it. They go in that church, be flamboyant, full of gold and diamonds and gay talk, and make women, stupid women, look at them like I'm going to live through him. He going to now tell me how to dress. He going to tell me how to talk. He going to give me all that vanity that he has, and I'm going to put it in me, and I'm going to become vain and proud and have self-esteem. Them sisters in there, them sisters is destroyed. The gay guy in charge, he's destroyed. And they, just like all of our people in this kingdom that's being destroyed by Esau, their only way to feel as though they're somebody is by having the things of Esau. Like he's no different than the cat on the street that spend $500 for a pair of sneakers. He ain't no different. They got the same self-esteem problem. And that's why we got to serve a God. And y'all jump in anytime. Salaki. We got to serve a God that gives us our identity and our self-esteem without carnality. We need a God that gives us these things without us having to have anything. Why do you need that? Why do you need a God like that? Because when you have nothing and you're destroyed and you have that God, then you still have enough to fight your way out of that captivity. But what, you know what I'm saying? Damn right. But if you don't have that God, then all you have is these vain things, Movado watches, and whatever them suits are. Now, what if you don't get those things like he ain't getting? This congregation is broken, busted, and this and that, because the thing that he need to be somebody, he cannot get. And which is why the truth is just knowing the truth, let alone even being in the school, just knowing the truth is more mercy than anybody on this earth ever deserved except for your house. There's more mercy than that, because otherwise, Movado is your God. Movado says you will be blessed or not. Movado calls the call. The Movado watch on your wrist is the only thing that makes you a man, that makes you a person, that makes you a preacher. that makes you a prophet. And brother, if Movado does it, one, Movado gonna get dumb rich. Forget about that. And number two, you serve a white man and his products as your God and not God himself. And that in itself is, I mean, it's tragedy on another level. So, like, what you trying to get in?
I saw this is a video floating around of some female usher, some Christian usher, begging the congregation, talking about, we like Golden Corral too. Y'all go to Golden Corral, we like Golden Corral too. So fill up that plate. And that same vibe, begging for money, but not, we're gonna help you. This is the truth. This is bringing you to God. But give us more money so we can go to Golden Corral and have dinners and go to nice places. And so it's the same vibe, like you saying.
If I could say one thing, and now, of course, sir, you done blow my mind, because I'll tell you why. Okay, this story is all over the world. This story is super famous, right? Mm-hmm. And no one ever charges the people who are in the church. Like, you're going to hear about this story 1,000 times. Everyone will talk about the preacher, right? But he, in the beginning of this tape, right, he said, I'm not worth your Gucci, meaning he's looking, these are people, they have on Gucci, but they're not getting him the Movado watch. And this is something that blew my mind. Christ said, ye be blind leaders of the blind. Is that the truth is, his lust gives them license to lust. Like that. Sorry.
Go ahead, General.
Oh, sorry. His lust.
How's it? Bring it down. Bring the chair down. Come on.
His lust gives them license to lust.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what blew my mind. Meaning, when you hear the story in the news, they're gonna say, "Can you believe this preacher? This is going. What's wrong with you preachers?" But no one ever says this preacher is doing this because that is what his congregation likes. And guess what? If he becomes full of integrity and spirituality, they'll leave that church. They're there because a pedophile preacher, a Movado lustful preacher, gives the congregation's license to be evil people at home, which is what GEN.YAHANNA just said. They get to go home and be evil bitches and be wrong because their leader only cares about Movado, and he, in essence, frees the conscience of everybody there. Now I get it. It's like, okay, this cat that I would look at is beneath contempt, like somebody that I would never follow. Somebody like him, right? Or some of these fake Israelite bastards, because they're so effeminate. But they give congregations license to be just as evil as them.
Yeah.
And that's what they're paying for.
Yeah.
And now I get it.
That's what they're paying for. And his was his mistake. Just to look at the left-hand side.
Go ahead.
His mistake was he should not have asked for the Movado, number one. Number two, he should have came in with the Rolex. He should have had the Rolex on, and he should have been asking for the second Rolex. That was his mistake. Like, you come in there and you ain't got the Movado, and you asking for the Movado to vain people. Now, righteous people will be like, well, the man do deserve a decent Movado. You know what I mean? In they stupid mind. But a vain people will be like, well, nigga, you ain't got a Movado because you just ain't got one. You ain't, you ain't bad as us. We got Movado because that means he ain't valuable enough. Right. The problem is he ain't wicked enough to do it. That's the whole problem. And that's why in the Israelite school of UPK, you got 3 financial obligations in here. Number one, you must pay your tithes, man. That's right. Everybody must pay their tithes into this school. Right. Okay, that's absolutely paramount. Number two, you must pay for your Passover, man. Right. Whether you go or not, you to pay for your Passover. That is a must in this school. And third, if you are part of a camp, you must pay your camp fee, okay, which is a very small amount. Yeah. You must pay your camp fee, and all of this is contingent upon you having an income. You can't pay tithes if you don't have an income. If you don't increase, then you are paying your tithes, even though you ain't putting $1 in the school. But if you get an increase, you must pay those tithes in here. That's 3 obligations. Everything else is voluntary after that. You can volunteer for all. And listen, and UPK is absolutely beautiful. I'm not even bringing this like a charge. UPK is forget about it. Sisters in there cooking, supporting, clothing, feeding, babysitting, traveling, forget about it. Brothers is in here, you know what I mean? We in here living like kings. You know, I got all kind of liquor up here, and I still got Ariel's wines. I got all kinds of stuff up in here, man. The brotherhood and the love is insane. I don't want to keep talking about LeBron, but that brisket, I'm just saying. I'm going back to get some more though. Then I'm going to see Q. Q down there in DC got the what they call them, the chickens that run free. Free range, the free range or whatever he got them joints out there fresh. They kill it when you get out. That's all I'm saying.
That's it.
Listen, a few things in life I like. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But again, I you know, brothers do that, and that's from their heart. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's obligated to do it, and it's evil to do because we got a nation to build, and to be just you trying to get a Movado watch in 2022. With coronavirus and monkeypox on the horizon, Ukraine, Russia at war, they just popped Putin's top man's daughter, assassinated her. And you worrying about a Movado will show you that you only built on carnality and built on vanity. Can I get a scripture on it? Now that you brought the video out, if I could, get this scripture for me. Bear with me 1 second. Y'all chime in anytime. Give me Psalms 81. You're going to do 12 to 15 real fast and strong, all right?
The book of Psalms, chapter 81 and verse 12. So I gave them up into their own heart's lust.
That's what's happening now. Your preacher, the Lord gave that fool up. He been giving up. The Lord ain't with him. The Lord is not with him. The Lord ain't dealing with him. The Lord ain't showing him nothing. The Lord gave him up. Like you throw a whore out your house. You give her up and throw her in the street. That's what God did. Remember now, these cats were the men that were called to the supper. Remember what Christ said. They that were called shall not taste of my supper. These brothers right here that you see, you wonder why them preachers are so charismatic? God ordained them preachers to do his will. The Most High did. But guess what? They turned their back on the Lord and went for money. Yeah. So they still skillful, but he gave them up. Yeah. He threw them out. T.D. Jakes, Creflo Dollar, all of them would be in charge of the Israelite school of UPK right now. And they'd be better than us. Straight up, I know y'all don't like to hear it. But according to the Bible, they would be better at this than we are. They would be better at it. Because they were the ones called before us. But they did not obey the Most High. They turned their back on the Most High for their vanity. So the Lord said, no problem. I'm going to go get some cats. I'm going to go get the second string and make them the first string. There you go. Y'all don't want to play the game to win? No problem. I'm going to go get second string and watch them bust your ass. Okay, and do what you wouldn't do. Watch them take the ball into the goalpost when you sat down when you should have been playing. That's right. Lord handled them like a coach. Yeah, man. And that's why, listen, we ain't perfect. Stuff go here, there, whatever. But we, the second string, we about to get them crowns. We about to get them crowns that they should have got and got played out for a Movado watch. What a bitch made nigga. For a Movado, you got taken off the field. The greatest game that ever could be played, man. Raising up the kingdom of heaven and the 12 lost tribes of the children of Israel. Right. I'm playing to win. Damn right. I'm trying to win. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to win. You know what I'm saying? UPK, I'm putting everything on it. I'm rolling the dice, everything. All in. I'm pushing all of my chips up on the table. Them in the middle. You know what I'm saying? I'm playing to win in this game. Come on, give me some more of that to the 15. Let's take
Connor Wakan, sir. And they walked in their own counsels.
They walked in their own counsels. That what you heard was his own counsel. That's right. That wasn't counsel from the Most High. That was his counsel on what should go on. Go ahead.
Connor Wakan, sir. Oh, that my people had hearkened unto me, and Israel had walked in my ways.
And listen, the Lord didn't just charge them. He said if Israel had walked in his way, like all we have to do is get on the Most High side. Like we talking about a terrible power. You know what I mean? Like the Most High is a terrible, terrible thing when he come to destroy you, man. He's like your worst, absolute worst nightmare. It's exactly what you do not want to mess with. He said, if only we would have stuck with it. Go ahead.
Kanawa Khan, sir. Verse 14.
Go ahead.
I should soon have subdued their enemies.
He would have what?
Subdued their enemies.
If they had done what the Lord said, all these nations would be wiped out right now. They'd all be wiped the hell out right now. Said I would have subdued their enemies, man. But instead, he threw them out and let them go after it. Now they can go after Movado and Rolex and Rolls Royce. You can go after all of that now. The Lord don't care. Why? He cast them out. But if they had only stuck with him, go ahead, bring me on in.
Kanawa Khan, sir. And turned my hand against their adversaries.
Ooh, I'm sticking to these scriptures. Yes, sir. Yeah. Law, statutes, and commitment. I'm going through all. I ain't eating no pork. Yes, what? Right. What else I ain't got to do? I ain't doing it. Mm-hmm. What I got to do? I'm doing it. Yes, I got to do what? I'm doing it. I'm sticking to that. Read that again. Listen, let me explain something to you. You go into church, but you don't believe what you read in Christians. Yeah. Like, I believe what I'm reading. When I read that, I know that's a man that ain't going to lie. That dude right there, he's not lying. So if he say it, it's going to happen. I'm doing what he said. I'm doing what he said because I know it's going to happen. And really, you don't need faith no more. It's happening all around us. Right or wrong? Am I lying? Maybe this crazy talk. I ain't had no drink, but maybe I'm tripping. I don't think so. Read on.
Kanawa Khan, sir. I should have soon subdued their enemies.
He would have destroyed our enemies. Go ahead,
Kanawa Khan, sir. And turned my hand against their adversaries.
Ooh, wait. That was it, 15? Come on.
Verse 15. The haters of the Lord should have submitted them.
Stop. Wait, you got to stop. Hold it. Hold it now. This cat is a hater. According to the Bible, this preacher is a hater of the Lord. He's a hater. Why is he a hater? Just like the scripture said, just like the king said, you cannot serve two masters, right or wrong. You shall either love one and hate the other. The Lord called them haters. Because if you love Movado over the Lord, you a hater. If you love Rolex over the Lord, you a hater. You a hater. Ain't nothing wrong with getting money. Get money. Pay your tithes. Get all the money you can get legally. Get rich. Pay your tithes. But don't trade it for the truth. Don't trade it for the Most High. Don't turn your back on the Lord. Then you become a hater. Everybody talking about haters. There's some real haters out there, but they in the church. They in the mosque, man. Real haters. Read on. I'll finish it. I'm going to get up off.
Kanawa Khan should have submitted themselves.
You see that? They vanity, what we talked about earlier. They were vain. They built a congregation of vain people, but they should have submitted themselves. They should have said, yo, let me chill. Let me submit myself. Go ahead.
Kanawa Khan. Unto him, but their time should have endured forever.
You hear that? When they say, but their time should have endured, it's like you saying, they should have endured forever. Their time should have endured forever, meaning this. They should be getting the first crowns. These cats and these old homosexuals and all these, they was going to get a crown before us. They was going to be dead and come back and get a crown for doing the work of the Lord before us, because they was called before us. These cats were supposed to get that. The Lord said that they, what? Read that part again. Break it down. Check it out.
Kanawa Khan. The haters of the Lord.
No, the end part. Just the end part.
Kanawa Khan, sir.
Part of the verse.
Kanawa Khan, sir. But their time should have endured forever.
Their time should have endured forever. Huh? The Lord is saying, and it is saying, but like, what happened? Your time should have endured forever. You should have brought in the kingdom. Right now, we should have been, us in this generation, we were supposed to be born, and the whole Black and Latino community was supposed to be Hebrew Israelites. Every church that you see across America was supposed to be a Hebrew Israelite school. We were supposed to be born in this. You supposed to been working in this. You supposed to, Esau was supposed to be mad as hell because you ain't breaking no laws. You ain't going to jail. Nobody's taking no drugs. He's supposed to be mad as hell. He can't rob you. He can't rip you off. Everything you get, y'all building yourselves. You got your food coming in off of your own Hebrew Israelite black farms. All of that was supposed to be going on. And they had, listen, they had the skills to do it. They had the time, the skills, and the knowledge to do it. They know who they are. They know who they are. They were supposed to have it on lock. We're supposed to be coming in like young troopers. Coming in trying to work, you know what I'm saying? In the nation. Our mother and fathers is supposed to be Israelites, woken up already since the 60s, 50s. Before that, 100 years ago, the 1900s, whenever they emancipated us. And brothers start teaching all over the country. We're supposed to be just coming into it. It's supposed to be like natural to us, like it is to y'all children. Y'all children, they just naturally don't eat no pork. Naturally don't do things that they've been taught from a baby not to do according to the scriptures. That's supposed to be everybody in the black and Latino community. It ain't even supposed to be a question of knowledge and debates over knowledge and debates over who the tribes are and all this old nonsense we going through now. They supposed to have been dead. But they didn't do it. So now we got to do it. We got to do what they were supposed to do. And now we're going to get the crown that they were supposed to get. The Lord said that, their time should have endured forever. That's what it means when they say endure forever. Meaning they never come out of power. They stay in power. They rule their whole life. The brothers that come up under them, they take over. They ruling. The brothers that come up, the same thing we doing right now. Only we doing it in a small zone because they turned their back on the Most High. And brother, that's going to be hell to pay in that day. The Lord is to be feared and obeyed.
Yes, sir.
I'm done. I'm off of it.
Sir, can I say something on
Please
that?
get down.
And you Christians, right? Y'all kill me with this hypocrisy, right? A lot of y'all upset about what he said, right? But y'all hired this man. To be a preacher in the church, so it's lucky, sir. You got to go through an interview process with that church.
Yeah.
And that board of directors on that church, they hire you to teach a certain doctrine to them. Well, that cat got hired by the people in that church to teach them a lie they had him teach. Yeah. They hired him to do that. And all across this country, your so-called pastors and preachers get taught or get hired to teach a certain way to the congregation. Every last one of them. So why is it so absurd that he asked for a watch? You wanted him to ask for the watch, and that's why he hired him. That's the whole point. Give me Micah 3 and 11 real fast. That's the whole point. Y'all hired this man to get up there and do the things he's doing and to say the things he's saying. He just ain't skillful enough as like Creflo Dollar. He got frustrated. Creflo on a whole other level, sir. This cat here don't know what he's doing. You know what I mean? But Creflo on a whole other level. But he got hired by your board of directors in your church. I didn't know that, sir, as a kid growing up, they had the board of directors to hire you. So I didn't know that. I didn't know that, right? And then I found out through some worldly family that sat on the council that, they hired their pastors in their church. I said, what? I thought they were just men of God teaching. No, we hired them. And they got to teach the philosophy and doctrine that the church want to hear.
They're doing like a job. They're doing like going to work for transit.
There you go. You're right, sir. Same exact thing, sir. So now with that being said, you have to understand why he's doing what he's doing, man. Read Matthew 3 and 11. I'm sorry, Micah 3 and 11. I apologize. Yeah, Micah 3 and 11.
The book of Micah, chapter 3 and verse 11. The heads thereof judge for reward.
So he's judging and giving you a sermon based off of the money he can receive from that church. That's the point. Go ahead.
Colonel Wakan, sir. And the priests thereof teach for hire.
Go ahead.
And the prophets thereof divine for money.
That's what's going on, right? That's why he went that Movado watch, man. He tired of y'all not giving him his just due. And like you said, Movado watch, like that's not a like they're a little bit low on the totem pole now. As far as watches.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like cats ain't really rocking the Movado like how they used to back in the day. Now,
No, you get
you know what I mean?
now you got to get the diamond encrusted Rolex now.
Yeah, cut or what
You ain't
cut.
got the diamond encrusted Rolex.
Cut or
now,
what
you know
cut.
I'm saying?
Yeah, he could have called me. I gave him my old Movado watch. Like I shook him out there and safe from back in the day. Like he behind the game right now. But he doing it for money, and they hired him to be this way. Go ahead, brother.
Khan Wakan. Yet will they lean upon the Lord.
They trying to lean upon the Lord, but he ain't answering, man. More and more and more as we coming to the end of this evil, wicked empire, the Lord now is pulling up your skirt to the Christian church. And the Lord is showing your evil folly that you have done for years. The Lord is showing you. The Lord is showing you your hypocrisy that you got going on amongst blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. And the Lord now is creating a separation through the I.S.U.P.K.
Damn right.
You understand the command of GEN.YAHANNA.
Damn right.
He's ripping the veil now, almost damn near. And he's showing all the evil that's been going on and showing you the evil you've been doing, and you got to take a hard look at it now.
Yes, that coronavirus, brother, was a truth serum.
Yes, sir.
Truth
Yes,
serum.
sir. Yes, sir. You know what I mean? Now it's time to take a hard look, man. And the Lord going to continue to show you. Like, you're going to hear more and more things that's going to seem amazing, but it's really not amazing. This is the Most High now splitting you up now. Now he's showing you what you would do and what you are not to do, and to come out of that evil work behind Christian church. That's just what I'm saying.
Damn right.
Damn right. Damn right.
Yeah.
Give it up. Go ahead, you die. You lost it. You got away. Sometimes they get away. I know.
You die?
Oh, did we lose the whole screen?
No, the camera's still up. Black screen.
Okay, everybody stand by one. Reset them cameras. Get y'all back in the game. Salaki and Marah. I think I messed you up with that OBS, right?
See, that's how I know you still poor, broke, busted, and disgusted, because of how you've been honoring me.
Yeah, let's do it. You want to do that? Okay, yeah. Then we'll come back to the list.
I'm not worth your McDonald's money. I'm not worth your Red Lobster money.
Yeah, let's do
I ain't worth your St. John knit.
We'll do
Y'all can't afford it no how.
Dallas, we got it. Anyway,
I ain't worth y'all Louis Vuitton. I ain't worth your Prada. are inexcusable. I offer no justification or defense.
Back. All right, fam. Where we going, your dad?
Colonel McCon, sir. Dallas flooding. Water rescue by Fox weather reporter caught on camera.
We got Dallas on. Come on, y'all, help me out. We got Dallas on the phone.
Yeah.
Maya?
Yeah.
You bringing them in?
Tell everybody.
We getting Dallas on the phone now. He's gonna give y'all the report, local, on the ground. You understand? And what's going on out there in Dallas?
Yeah,
Give us a second.
Because they flooding like crazy out there. Yeah, go ahead. No, I think. We going. That's a different story. You got a flooding story on Dallas?
This is one of the flooding stories that happened.
Oh, okay. Yeah, break it down, please.
Colonel McCon, this is a Fox weather crew covering the flash flooding in Dallas Monday snapped into action to save a driver trapped in her car. It said just before 7 a.m., Stephanie Carroll's car got stuck in the water near I-35 and High-Lying Drive. Says reporter Robert Ray was getting ready for a live report when he saw what was happening.
If I could, sir, there was terrible flooding down there in Dallas this week. I saw the video, sir. The car, all you could see was the roof of the cars down there in Dallas. I believe that's what General Mayak was talking about. Captain Yashamar, who's in charge of the Dallas camp, he'll be calling in to give you a full report.
I think he's on. You getting ready to call in? Okay.
He's calling in to Officer Marah. Officer Marah will let you know when Captain Yashamar calls in from Dallas. But there was terrible flooding down there in Dallas. I'm not sure if there were any fatalities, but I mean, the water on the highway was up to the roof of the car, which is a nightmare if you don't know how to swim. To see that water on them roof of them cars, that's a Judite nightmare. Dallas went through a Judite nightmare, and it was the worst like in history. They said different areas had double-digit rain in minutes. In minutes, double-digit rain. I believe Officer Yediah has some stories about what people in the world went through down there this week. Is that correct, Yediah? Please.
Says flash flooding in North Texas leads to high water rescues, road closures, and submerged cars.
Good Lord, they driving on the highway, sir, and then they swimming on the highway. Keep going.
That's hell. Absolutely hell.
Colonel Wakan, sir. It says a state of disaster has been declared in Dallas County after a day of intense, deadly rainfall.
Keep going.
High water rescues happen again and again Monday morning as part of North Texas received record rainfall with vehicles being left stranded. After a bone-dry summer in one day, this became the second wettest August on record, nearly breaking a 24-hour rain total and triggering deadly flooding. Flash flooding kills one woman in Mesquite. This is along 635 in Mesquite between military and Sassine drivers were swallowed by rising waters on the freeway and on the road below. Tanya Tyra, her mother, Gail McKernan, and her dogs were trapped in their car. A man with a rope pulled them out of danger. It says as Dallas Fire Rescue wrapped news conference with swift water rescue units calls from help were coming in.
And even from that picture, General, that's a pickup truck. It's like one of them Ford F-150s, right? And that water about to spill into the cabin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, high must have to be.
Good.
That's hell, and that look like some dirty,
for sure.
Look like all kind of stuff and sewage.
Good.
I mean, everything going through that water. That's hell.
You got
more? You died?
Come.
It says flooded roads cause problems in Fort Worth. Floodings made driving nearly impossible for many in Fort Worth late Sunday night, especially near the intersection of Bledsoe and Norwood Streets, just north of Farmington Field Stadium. Flood waters reached really high levels after midnight. It was up to car windows and hires. Daniela Gonzalez ended up trapped in a car she was a passenger in. She said the quick rise in water meant the vehicle wouldn't move.
That's hell. Wow. You out there in one of them whips and you on some road and all of a sudden it's flooded? It's like you in the Lord's hand now.
That's
it's
it.
Like, it's like
if you didn't know before.
Yeah, if you didn't know before. Like you was cutting niggas off and racing through the streets and thinking you Billy Badass. When that flood come, that car don't mean nothing now. Go ahead, Op. Oh, you ready? Yes, sir. Go ahead. Captain Yashamar.
Salak Yashabakatha.
Shalom, Yashabakatha. Can you hear me?
Khan, go ahead. Can you hear me?
Call it. Can you make it louder for us to hear? No way. That's all right. We'll work it. Go ahead.
It's Salak. Yeah, I can barely hear anything. I don't know if you can you hear me?
I should bring it up.
Okay, bring it up here. Yeah. Yeah, we working it out with you now. Holding near this mic. Yeah, let's call it. Shalom. Go ahead, man.
Alawapanya, Barak.
Yeah. What's going on, mighty man? We hear it's madness out there.
These ministers of death that you done raised up out here and weather through the storm. So most high in Christ, every brother is accounted for in his tawab, every brother and sister, everybody.
Well done.
Damn right. Come, for sure. Most High in Christ. So what's actually going down out there?
It's a lot of major flooding. As you know, Dallas is not really a city prepared to receive rain like that. So anytime we get a lot of rain, you can expect freeways to be shut down. A lot of cars kind of got took up off the freeway, kind of flooded out, and like while they driving, they got taken away. You know. Nobody has passed away or died that we know of in the flooding yet, but you see a lot of that on the news, and you hear a lot about that out here on the streets. The water crept up to a few brothers' door, but it hadn't quite broken into the house. And most high in Christ for that. It's just not a city prepared to handle rain or really snow.
And what are the big time preachers doing? Isn't TD Jakes out there? Who's out there in Dallas?
They doing what they always do. It ain't real if you ain't in the field, and they not in the field.
There you go.
Right, damn right.
They not men of the same caliber raised up in here, so they doing what they always do. They'll talk about things from the sideline, but they not gonna get in the field for real. They just gonna talk a big game.
Gone.
The Lord has kept us.
You can see there on the radar behind.
Banner of the I.S.U.P.K under your authority, following the Most High in Christ. The Lord has once again kept us.
You can see.
He kept us through all the rest of the trials and tribulations that He brings. You know, Dallas is a city getting hit hard by the monkeypox.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes, sir. They out here is going down. Con out of one con.
That mean that monkeypox in that water, you know. That monkeypox all in the water. You better not drink nothing out that faucet for 6 months. I'm joking, of course. Yeah, I'm joking, of course, but you know.
Am I really?
I was just saying I would. That monkeypox done got loose on them out there. You know, man. God, I know y'all good to go.
Yes, sir. We only drinking water from the highest peak.
Damn right. You know what I'm saying?
The water to you and the generals and all the other brothers who called to check on us out here. We really appreciate that love and support. Of course, it means a lot to us out here. The water for checking on us and making sure we were fine. Bless the name of the Most High. We absolutely are fine. Everything is tawab.
Most High in Christ.
Appreciate you and all the brothers. The water.
Hey, great work, warrior. Great work out there. You know what I'm saying? You know, man. Damn right. Big shout out to all the brothers out there. Big shout out to Captain Kahan, man, raising up all them schools out in that Texas area. Y'all looking good, man, and doing great work for the mercy of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Hey, the water for calling in. All right, we're going to salute you out.
Alawapanya, Barak. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbat.
Yahweh Shem Shabbat. All right, warrior. Shalom. All right. All right. Where we going next? I think he got D.L. Hughley's story. He had got into it with some pastor, called him out, tried to start a fight or something.
Connor McCon. Rob Gucci loving pastor challenges comedian D.L. Hughley to boxing duel. I'll knock you out in the name of Jesus.
This designer clothes creating a lot of controversy out.
What's the beef? What did D.L. Hughley say? Do we have any footage or anything that he brought out that got this pastor so upset?
You look for the video. He went on the D.L. Hughley show.
Okay.
This is the pastor that got robbed.
Oh.
I don't know if it was real or not, but you remember the pastor that got robbed story.
Yeah.
Well, he was a guest on D.L. Hughley's radio show and or podcast.
Afterwards or before?
After the robbery.
Okay.
And D.L. Hughley went on there and battled him about, the kind of preacher that he was. Calling him a liar, saying he faked the whole robbery.
Damn.
And he got angry at D.L. Hughley and challenged D.L. Hughley to a physical fight.
So this was all a ruse.
Kind of one
D.L. Hughley.
Kind of one cut.
He never got robbed.
He never got robbed. It was all for publicity to get this story to be a big story.
Oh,
and that the robbery was fake, according to D.L. Hughley. You have more about it?
You summarize.
Okay. Do you have the D.L. Hughley episode when he was on?
You have a story, period.
Okay.
A little bit on board with the brother was saying.
Yeah, go ahead and read the story about it.
It says the drama surrounding Brooklyn pastor Lamar Miller Whitehead extended onto a celebrity social media this week. The church leader who attracted headlines after being robbed of jewelry during a church service in late July expressed unhappiness with an interview he had just done with comedian D.L. Hughley.
We do have video of that, I believe.
Go ahead. You got video of the interview?
The pastor talking, we should have video of.
But not him talking about it and challenging him to the fight. That we do have. Okay, keep reading until he's finished. Come on.
Connor McCon. Whitehead complained about Huey on Instagram and challenged him to a duel in a boxing ring. It says on his Instagram account, Whitehead said that he had just been interviewed by Hughley and called the encounter an ambush, which is cool, and said, "You will not walk over me, you will not villainize me, and you will not disrespect me." He then challenged the comic to a boxing match. Meet me in the ring because y'all think y'all can walk over pastors, and said, "Let's set up a celebrity match. Me, you in the ring, Bishop Whitehead and D.L. Hughley, because you run your mouth behind the mic, right? And y'all think these preachers are punks behind a pulpit."
Now, I know this nigga didn't say this in pink, did he? This nigga actually challenged somebody to a fight in pink. Let's hear this footage if we could. Will you get a second? You got more to it?
It says Whitehead, the bishop at Leaders of Tomorrow International Churches in Canraj, Brooklyn, attracted headlines after he was robbed of jewelry valued at $1 million.
So it was all BS, according to D.L. Hughley.
According to D.L. Hughley. And I think the internet said it was fake. Any more you done?
It sure didn't look fake. If they orchestrated that, they did a good job.
The robbery didn't look fake.
Yeah, okay. The robbery. I mean, I saw the footage of the robbery, and they looked good and confused, like they didn't know what the hell was going on. I mean, if they was faking it, they was real good because they looked like they was, what? They was confused or pretending to be. You know what I mean?
Like that's what I was gonna say, General. Like they do, like he talking all this stuff, talking to D.L. Hughley now, because he called him on his father. But you want to talk to D.L. Hughley, but you want to talk on young boys with them guns in your church now. Now I mean, you would have sat you down in your car doing a TikTok video, whatever you're doing, with orange glasses, or pink glasses on or something. I don't know, General. Now you want to talk tough, but he was not talking tough, sir. But I'm catching anything with them damn guns. He looked real disheveled. Like, what the hell going on here?
I mean, it's ridiculous. Either way, first of all, if he got robbed, it was because of how vain and stupid he was. But I think he already had that reputation for wearing that kind of jewelry in his church. That reputation, I believe, preceded that.
I didn't know about how much that jewelry was worth if he wasn't lying. $1 million of jewelry on a person?
They saying $1 million now, but at the time they said it was $400,000 worth of jewelry. So who knows? You know what I mean? It could have been.
I mean, that's
and a lot of that jewelry that they pay so much money for, a lot of that bling bling, when you go to cash that stuff in, it'd be garbage. You know what I mean? Like you paying for the craftsmanship in many cases, than you paying for the quality of gold and diamonds. Like that's why Esau don't never buy it. He don't never buy it because you're gonna spend $10,000 for a chain. When you go back to go turn it in, that same $10,000 chain be $3,000 worth of gold and diamonds. The other $7,000 was labor to create this custom thing that you had made. And a lot of times that's what makes it no value.
And it makes sense because that sounds like the nigger markup, excuse my language.
Exactly.
It sounds like Nike's, a $2 shoe that cost you $300.
Because it was
created for $2 in Thailand.
Exactly. You 110% right. And that's exactly what goes on. All that custom jewelry and all that stuff, none of it be worth what they purchased it for. The only way it's worth that is if when you buy it, that you get that guarantee in writing, and then you go and appraise it somewhere else. And if it's less, you get a guarantee that you can go back to them and say, this was appraised. It's not what you say it's worth based on the price. And then they got to either give you your money back or somehow make it up to you. But other than that, all of that stuff be garbage, man. It'd be not garbage because it'd be real diamonds and stuff like that, real gold, but it's never nowhere near as much as they're charging for it. Them different specialty guys, you heard their names in the videos. Yeah. A ton of them is going to jail over this stuff.
That's right.
Because there's so much fraud and garbage. You was going to say something?
They call it depreciation.
You're right.
You know what I mean? It loses value once you buy it and time goes on.
Exactly. You know? Which is never supposed to be the case with diamonds and gold. It's supposed to be going up every time you buy it. You spend $10,000 on gold 2-3 years from now, it's supposed to be worth way more than what you bought it.
Yeah.
But if you bought it, if you spent $10,000 on it, it's really only $3,000 worth of gold. And it might be worth $3,500 by the time it's time to sell it, but you pay 10 G.
I mean, if I could, sir, these Christians follow people that I wouldn't even respect.
That's right.
And I'm a Judah. I struggle respecting people. It's like a struggle. I gotta force myself to treat him like he's my equal. You gotta know that because of how I am with brothers. But I can follow him. I can follow Commander General YAHANNA. Right. You get the point? Like I can follow him because he's a man. Right. Now, for the life of me, bro, I can tell you how y'all was shine. Like, how do y'all follow them? Like, brother, that is not. I understand it more because you are a bastard, so he lets you be a bastard, and now I get it. Before, I remember all week I was thinking, how are they following them? Like, how are they sitting there and going? The whole world is like, what's wrong with this pastor? There's people in there every Sunday. Yeah. And all week I'm like, well, what in the hell is happening? And what's wrong with me that I don't even understand the allure? Like I don't get, I follow you, that I get.
You won't put on pink glasses.
Oh, shit. What are you
like
doing?
You got you got to wake up in the morning and be like, if I had some pink glasses, I'd be fly as hell. Then you could go follow him. But if you can't look at them pink glasses like, whoa, he got some fly glasses on, then you know he just ain't gonna have he ain't gonna get you. You know what I mean? He ain't gonna grab you. But if you looking at them pink glasses like he's so fly, my pastor's so fly with pink glasses on because you're a dumb, vain bitch that believes in, you know, anything that's vanity, then you gonna love him. That's why he got it on for that reason. He knows what he's doing. Look at that old cat. Look at that old. That's a pink can. Is that a Kango or a baseball cap?
I think it's a baseball.
You got a pink lip baseball cap with hot pink glasses on, and he looked like a horrible drug addict.
Oh my God!
Look at his face. Look at his mouth. His whole face. Look. He looked like
a chimney. Like
he's
smoke come out his eyes.
That top lip is getting more weed saturated in that top lip than a little bit more than all the lead leaching in the water. You understand? Like, you got to be like him. There's some sodomite or some vain woman. All these old flighty broads you see on the street, half naked, dumb, doing all that. They in that church on Sunday. On Sunday, they taking all that nasty shit off. Excuse my French. And they putting on some kind of halfway model, because these days you ain't even got to be modest in the church.
Please.
They in there with the tight pants on. Most of the time they got the Brazilian butt lift.
That's right.
All of that. And they go sit up in there on Sunday and they are loved and respected because that money they drop in that plate says you're not a nasty, filthy piece of garbage that needs to change your life. And since he validates that vanity and carnality in you, you love him and support him and you make him rich. But nothing ever happens to the Black and Latino community. Black, Latino, and Native Indian community. West Indians, all of you. Right. Nothing happens. It ain't just one tribe. All the tribes is doing it. You understand? Look, you should see some of what these Latino sodomite preachers are like. We need to get some of their footage. You see them old Latino side, you think you looking at a goddamn woman. Some man sitting up here, hair blowing in the wind and real feminine. And brother, they in there, that church on time Sunday morning, 8 a.m., ready to hear this sodomite prance up and down the stage and talk nasty, like sodomites do. Arrogant, nasty, vain, proud, puffed up talk. You understand? Disguised as God's word, just like he did with the Movado. He supposed to be talking God's word. I ain't working. I ain't your preacher. I'm over you. Like a real sodomite would do. And if you filthy inside, that appeals to you. The UPK appeals to people that really went through tragedy and want to change their life, or went down the wrong path and saw that this was a mistake and this is not how I'm supposed to live, or suffered some horrible situation, or basically just wanted to know the truth and not be lied to under all these damn religions. And so sat down long enough to say, what the hell are these fools talking about on the corner? Come to find out they wasn't fools. Come to find out they were great officers and great men from the Israelite school of UPK. A lot of people come into the truth that way. And that's how you supposed to come in. So Muhammad, you could never follow him. You just ain't got that. You know what I mean? You got to
bewildering thing to me. Like
you ain't gonna fit that. Like, play a little of the, you got the beef? Yes, let's play the, I shouldn't have ran on Salaki. Let's play the beef. You know what I mean? Mashak made a good point.
What's going on, world? D.L. Hughley.
Christ. This is the Bishop Lamar Miller Whitehead, and I greet you with all the love of Jesus Christ. I just got off of an interview with this D.L. Hughley guy, right? And it was an ambush, which is cool. But let me tell y'all this, right? This bishop here, you will not walk over me. You will not villainize me, and you will not disrespect me, right? So D.L. Hughley, right? Because I call him Napoleon, right? Because I guess he's short, right? And he has a Napoleon complex. And all he did was just come at me with disrespectful tone, right? So like I told you on your syndicated radio station, right? We don't got to talk, right? You feel the way you feel about me. I don't feel no way about you. But listen, what I want to do, meet me in the ring, right? Because y'all think y'all can walk over pastors. Let's set up a celebrity match. Me and you in the ring, Bishop Whitehead and D.L. Hughley. Because you run your mouth behind the mic, right? And y'all think that these preachers are punks behind the pulpit. And when somebody try to make sense out of nonsense and you sit there and support the men that robbed me and robbed my church, and you support them on syndicated radio, listen, D.L. Hughley, let's meet in the ring, right? In the name of Jesus, right? Let's meet in the ring, D.L. Hughley. And I hope you get this message because I'm about to post it.
I can't take much more of this cat. Go ahead, and then I'm going to come with something.
If I may, sir, I want to say the water to General Muhammad, because he went over something heavy in class that just hit me like a bolt of lightning. It goes to show you that even this ruse of going to D.L. Hughley and say, oh, I was on your show, you disrespected me, instead of doing what Christ said to do and pulling that brother to the side, even the rules of a celebrity boxing match, you know how much money that would generate? I mean, he got to make that money back if he really was robbed.
And how you gonna be a man of God and want to fight another man over what he said? like I don't even understand that. So you know what I'm saying? Like, how you gonna fight another man because of what he said when you have the right and ability to defend what he said? You know what I mean? And something else heavy, y'all get me right on this. He said that D.L. Hughley said he was on the side of the robbers. D.L. Hughley didn't say it didn't happen. Or did he?
I don't know, but that's what he said.
But that's what he said. And from what he's saying, it sounds like D.L. Hughley said exactly what we've been saying, that happened and he deserved it to happen because you sitting up there flaunting all that jewelry. Like, I think that's what D.L. Hughley was trying to say. You know what I'm saying? And the problem is he wants a celebrity boxing match because, of course, these preachers can't sustain the evil thing they're doing. They can't sustain it. They an easy target to bring out how hypocritical they are for what they're doing. So, of course, what is his solution? Let's find a way to get more money. We'll have a fight, you and me, and we'll bring in more money. And even how he said this D.L. Hughley guy, like he was bigger than D.L. Hughley. Ain't nobody never even heard of this cat before. D.L. Hughley is all over the damn world. Go ahead, Yeah, like since when he became a celebrity. Right, exactly. Because again, he gonna try to turn it into a way to make some money. And maybe he got some boxing background or something. Or maybe he just an idiot trying to, do something. But from what he said, D.L. Hughley cut him and he had no way to come back on it. Because of course, that's what it's all about. And let me tell you something, this is why God put a man over women, because it's women in the churches that putting him in a Rolls Royce.
Yeah, that's right.
While black people, Latino people, Native Indian people are starving in the streets, can't get jobs, going to jail for petty crimes because they think it's the only way they can make money. Drugs being poured all into the streets. And you sisters don't want to have to get up under a man. You don't want to have to be told what to do. You don't want the body to be set up in its right order. So what happens? You get a vain, I don't know if he's homosexual, but he's, you know how what Chris Rock said. Who was it that said, if you dress like a whore, you know what I mean? Right. Like he looking like a sodomite, even if he's not, which is good strategy in church. If you're not a sodomite, you should still dress like a sodomite, because that's how you're going to get money in church. Right. If you're going to go and be a wicked nigga in church. And that is exactly what he's doing. And so again, back to my point, that for this fool to do what he does, that congregation of women, you got to be a congregation of women that do not want a man to guide you in the right way. You do not want to be led by these scriptures and by a man of the Lord. You really just want to be led by your own self-vanity. And that's why men have to be in charge of the nation. Otherwise, you would go through history and you would find great nations built by women. You would find great empires built by women, where all women were in charge and the men somehow voluntarily became subservient onto the women. You could see that in a movie. But in 5,000 or 6,000 years of history, you will never, ever, ever see that. And here's why. Because a woman at her base nature is emotional and vain. It's only through her upbringing that she loses those bad qualities. Just like a man has bad qualities and he loses them as he raises up in time, if he's taught properly. The problem is those sisters who have not been taught right or have gone through trauma, this man right here becomes their leader. He becomes the one that satisfies the need for their vain ways of life. And because of it, like any vain person, they'll never help you because they're full of vanity. They'll only help themselves. And that's what he got in that congregation. The only reason they're giving him money is to promote themselves. Like they need him in a Rolls Royce so they can feel like there's something valid about them. And it is horrible. Because for those sisters that had a decent, righteous brother from the school, his first order of business would be to take her out of that church. He would take her out of that church. He would stop her from spending that money in there for him to have a Rolls Royce for what? Or why does God need you to have a Rolls Royce? For what? For no reason whatsoever but to serve yourself. And brother, in the truth and in these scriptures and what the Lord wants is not for us to serve ourselves. That's why we just finished reading that. You know what I'm saying? Damn right.
I'm about to say one quick
Get
thing,
down,
sir.
please.
Because this is, here's what is so mind-blowing about what you just said and about what you said earlier about these preachers losing their opportunity and the Most High in Christ giving the Israelite school of UPK this job that they failed at. During the time of slavery, Black people were killed and mutilated and maimed if they were caught reading the Bible, which would mean that white people at that time thought that if Black people learned to read the Bible, it would topple white supremacy.
That's right.
Otherwise, why would they have laws against stopping us from reading the Bible? Like, they believed that it would create a turning upside down of power on the earth. They thought that white supremacy would end if Black people learned to read the Bible. So your eyes were burned out your head for reading the Bible. Black people learned to read the Bible and went and found preachers who want watches, which means it was no threat in us reading the Bible. And people got their eyes burned out of their heads for nothing because we all learned to read and we all chose TD Jakes and watches and Gucci, which means all that was for nothing because it was not a threat because of who we would decide to follow.
That's right.
And that's why this school is so important, because we are the realization of the threat that the slave master felt.
Yep.
Like, this is it. Us reading the Bible is exactly what they were worried about. It's happening right in here. They were worried about this. Your grandmother had her eyes burned out of her head because she was caught with a Bible, because they were worried about the Israelite school of UPK and what we're doing right now. And so many people died for your grandmother and your family to go follow some man to make them pursue a watch. And this school is a realization of what the fears of so many white people had and still have to this day. Salaki, sir.
Damn right. Damn right. All right. Where we going?
I do got one scripture that you pulled
Please, go ahead.
Jeremiah 5:31.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 5 and verse 31. The prophets prophesied falsely, and the priests bear rule by their means, and my people love to have it so.
That's such a right scripture. This is a bunch of vain, carnal ass people sitting in your church, and the people love it that way. They love it just like that. And to read the, I don't even understand this. To read the Bible. Salaki, you was gonna say something, General?
No.
You sure?
Maybe
Yeah, get down.
I was just gonna say what y'all bringing out is heavy. What General Muhammad brought out early is heavy in that, like you said, we look at these preachers and see how off they are, but the people that's following them is just as disgusted. You know how big a congregation Kanye West has and all the crazy stuff he say. He could have a whole church if he wanted. There's so many people want him to be a pastor, and I heard the cats talk. They talk rough and say they just don't know Kanye got knowledge, man. They ain't really listening, man. He a prophet, you know what I'm saying? Like, he could have a church if he wanted, with all the bugged out things he say. You know what I'm saying? To show you the people be the problem a lot of times.
Right. That's heavy. Go ahead, you done.
If I could, to add to something Jeremiah said, they even came up with his own book. They called it the Book of Jesus.
I remember, I heard that. And you're right. He got his own Bible.
Yeah.
And they still down with it. This is crazy.
Jesus 2 and 14.
Right.
Lord.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I missed that.
He got his own Bibles. He got his own chapter and verse. You know
I got you, God. I got you, God. All right, come on. Give me the second story. I got to keep going. Come on,
If I could, sir. It's $500 on Amazon.
There you go.
Book of Jesus.
There you go. Come on, let's go. Give me the next story.
Defense in school shooters trial to set present its case.
Keep reading. For what?
Colonel McCom, defense in school shooters trial set to present its case. The prosecution spent 3 weeks telling jurors how Nicholas Cruz murdered 14 students and 3 staff members at a Florida high school 4 years ago. Now his attorneys will get their chance to present why they believe he did it, hoping to get him sentenced to life without parole instead of death.
Just do me a favor. Is that story number 2 on your list? What number is that? Okay, we starting from the top down? Yeah,
Going from the list we went from before you
oh,
got
no. Start from 1 down. So go to story 2, if you could. 2 on your list.
Carnival content.
Salaki.
Carnival content.
And then just so everybody know, that school shooter, I mean, that was none but a white man. I don't know if he was Israelite or white man or whatever the hell. He looked like a devil to me, but it don't mean that he wasn't a brother. He could have been a brother. But either way, you know what I mean? They trying to save him from the death penalty, which is a joke. Is he done killed 17 babies. He needed, goodbye. So that's the only reason I'm cutting it short, because I don't know what that filth was that they done mixed among us, but he need to go ahead. You know what I mean? So Salaki, go ahead.
Carnival content. Former judges who sent kids to jail for kickbacks must pay more than $200 million.
Like this would need to be brought out. Like him, they should put him to death for that, what he did to them babies in that school. But this right here, this is what these judges did to these babies. You get you die about to read it. And brother, they got locked up, but everybody else involved in this did not. Go ahead, you die. I want you to read this story while we got time.
Carnival
important story. Go ahead.
Carnival One concert. 2 former Pennsylvania judges who orchestrated a scheme to send children to profit jails in exchange for kickbacks were ordered to pay more than $200 million to hundreds of people they victimized in one of the worst judicial scandals in U.S. history.
And of course, they ain't never gonna get that money because they in jail and they don't have no money. Go ahead.
Carnival Khan. U.S. District Judge Christopher Connor awarded $106 million in compensatory damages and $100 million in punctual damage to nearly 300 people in a long-running civil suit.
Go ahead.
Carnival Khan. In a long-running civil suit against the judges, writing the plaintiffs off. It's like writing the plaintiffs, there are the tragic human casualties of a scandal of epic proportions.
Like, if you wonder why black men is going to jail, selling drugs, killing and murdering, when you stop blaming them and start looking at the world that you live in, you're going to see so much evil things that have gone on. Like, these are hundreds of kids that babies, some as young as 9 years old, get into a fight in school, and these judges know that they're getting paid. The kid go before the judge. The judge sends the kid to detention. A baby sends him to detention. And then while he's in detention, being traumatized, and God knows what else, that judge is getting paid off of from the prison. I mean, this is heinous stuff. And meanwhile, Pennsylvania got the death penalty. They were supposed to get the death penalty for this, man. That's right. Like, they just destroyed these babies, man. Go ahead, read on. I want to get a little bit of this in. And once again, this is why we are messed up, man. We messed up over this. Go ahead.
Carnival Khan. In what came to be known as the Kids for Cash scandal, Mark Salavella and another judge, Michael Cohen, shut down in a county-run juvenile detention center and accepted $2.8 million in illegal payments from the builder and co-founder of the 2 Prophets lockups. Salavella, who presided over the juvenile court, pushed a zero-tolerance policy that guaranteed large number of kids that will be sent to a PA child care and sister facility in Western PA child care.
They got $2.8 million for destroying people's lives. For just destroying people's lives. I mean, you go in there, your kid get in a fight in school. You think you're going to work it out with the parents. They come in and send your kid to the judge. The judge turn around and take your kid out that courtroom right in front of your eyes and send your kid to a detention center. And he go in that detention center and be destroyed. And meanwhile, you thinking this is just the judicial system when the whole time he's just making money off your child. Like this is real evil. It's real evil because a child don't have no way to defend themselves. They ain't got no way to stand up against that evil. And then you wondering why they on the street stealing cars, selling dope, murdering, killing. Because after this type of trauma, the life you thought you were going to grow up in is shattered before your eyes. So you become warped, if not for the Most High. And once again, why none of these nations should never be over us. And it is our biggest mistake to turn our back on the Lord's law, statutes, and commandments, man, for that very reason. Go ahead, Doc.
Khan Khan. Shalavella ordered children as young as 8 to detention. Many of them first-time offenders deemed delinquent for petty theft, jaywalking, truancy, smoking on school grounds, and other minor infractions.
So even if they didn't go to school, jaywalking, that's crossing the street, not on the corner. You send them to a detention center because you're getting a damn kickback, man, from the prisons. You can't live under no empire like that. You need the Most High. Yeah. Like, it's insane. Give me a little more before I open it up, yo.
Khan, sir.
This is crazy.
The judge often ordered use he had found delinquent to be immediately shackled.
Immediately, meaning he go right in that court. He go and put shackles on your child. Go ahead.
Handcuffed and taken away without giving them a chance to put up a defense or even say goodbye to their family.
Dang. They don't even get a chance to go, well, let me go get a lawyer if you're going to charge me with something. And, I'll fight the case or nothing. He come in, as soon as he come in, what he did what? All right, handcuff him, shackle him, take him out of here. I can imagine the mothers that must have been screaming and crying and going crazy, in that situation. You know what I mean? Like turning them kids into a juvenile detention center is, it's the worst thing you could do to a child. It's the worst thing you could do to a child because you ruin them for the rest of their life. Go ahead, Doc.
Khan. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court threw out some 4,000 juvenile convictions involving more than 2,300 kids after the scheme was uncovered.
2,300 kids, they had to throw the cases out. 2,300 kids, they had to throw the case out. And almost all of them came out of Philadelphia. Almost all of them came, when you go back and check the record, almost all of these children came out of Philadelphia schools. Now, they was just having a ball. They made millions off of these babies, man. And you telling me I'm wrong for what I say and do? You telling me I'm wrong in this evil, stinking, filthy ass world? Damn that. I want Christ to burn it to the ground. That's right. With his power and his authority. You know what I'm saying? The whole damn world need to get burned down and turned over to Christ, man. Okay? Go ahead, Doc. You was going to say something? You need to get that mic if you could. Let the generals jump in.
So I remember growing up, a lot of my peers was getting locked up for little dumb stuff like that. Times, in the black community would be hard, and parents, they all messed up getting high. So usually a lot of, you go inside the courtroom and these white kids get sentenced. So what happens is So it was a judge, right? His name was Reynolds. Judge Reynolds.
Mm-hmm.
And
I know who that is. So
I used to hear stories about like the nightmares these kids would have going before Judge Reynolds. So they'll be like, don't wear a button shirt. Because if you wear a button shirt, you're going to ask you how many buttons you got on your shirt. And that's going to be the amount of months or years.
Imagine that.
So people would go there with like minimum buttons, no stripes. And if he peeped that you did it, the pigeons on the ledge, he'll make you count the pigeons.
So he just found some way to punish you with your own word.
And recently, lot of his cases got debunked, and now they had to reopen up the cases because he was doing dirty work behind closed doors.
You see that? And now you understand why they want to destroy black men. Because with black men not in the house, then them sisters working all day trying to raise kids, no husband at home to help them. They just drag them in them courtrooms, man, and drag them sisters the hell off. You understand? And that's why it's important to them to make sure that them families don't stay together, that them families have problems and issues. Go ahead, Marah.
It's like, sir, if I could, I didn't know them Nakar in the world, but the Bible do say 2 witnesses. And when he said them pigeons on the what you call it, I definitely heard about that. It was like, yeah, it's a judge.
See that?
Make you count them pigeons.
Muhammad said he heard about it too. Like, God, you too, my oh my God.
I went before Judge Brennan.
You went before Brennan.
I went before
God damn.
Yeah, I went before him, and they told me he count the pigeons out there, and that's how much time he gonna give you. But he don't tell y'all early in the morning he gonna throw bird seed out on the ledge.
Damn.
That's what they used to say. And the buttons thing and the whole thing.
Damn, I see that.
Yeah.
4 witnesses right here. And imagine that. You know how many people he had to been doing that to? For 4 brothers to be in here tonight, and all 4 of them here to know the same story. Like, these people are monsters, man. These people are monsters, man. And y'all acting like you got to show love and we got to come together. And all this BS. When these cats got major multi-million-dollar operations in destroying your children. I said this years ago, and this is so true today. The ghetto is the ghetto because some people need it to be the ghetto. They need the ghetto to get rich. Yeah. You need black people in poverty and in hell so you can get $2.8 million off of their children. There's some people that's living wonderfully because there's a ghetto. And that's why it's in their interest to keep the ghetto going, to keep you in poverty, to keep you destroyed, which is so also why you should serve the Most High. Yeah. It's ridiculous, It's ridiculous. I can't believe it. Give me some more on it. Finish the story right quick, and I'm going to chime in. I got a couple of scriptures I want to bring on. Y'all generals chiming in, too.
Captain Kahan might be calling in about a very similar story in Alabama.
Kahan, let me know when he's on the line. Go ahead, Al.
Connor Wakam, sir. It says it's unlikely now that the adult victims will see a fraction of the eye-popping damages award.
They ain't gonna see a fraction of it. Nothing. Go ahead.
Connor Wakam, sir. But a lawyer for the plaintiff said it is a recognition of the enormity of the disgraced judge crimes.
A recognition? This ain't no recognition. They're supposed to get millions from it. Millions from the prison, millions from the state. The state got the money. Why isn't the state paying them millions for what has happened to them? Why isn't the prison system, which they underpaying millions? Why aren't they paying? They're gonna sue the judges and act like, oh, the judges got to pay $200 million. This is an enormous tragedy. It's a statement being made. Meanwhile, them kids, man, they on their own. Read some more, you died.
Connor Wakam, sir. Connor Wakam. It says it's a huge victory, Marshall Liddick said, the co-founder and chief counsel of the Philadelphia-based Juvenile Law Center and a lawyer for the plaintiffs on Wednesday, to have an order from the federal court that recognizes the gravity of the judges or what they did to these children.
They didn't recognize the gravity, or everybody be in there going to jail. Go ahead.
Connor Wakam. Cervella is
and
serving.
Once again, then when they go pull out the statistics, then it's like, well, all these black kids going to jail. What do you expect us to do? We need funding. We need this. This is why the jails are overcrowded. This is what all the complaints you hear from them. Meanwhile, the whole damn thing is a scam where they making millions off of these people, babies, destroying their lives, sending them babies right back to the ghetto to be destroyed in the street now. And which is why you don't have it. Meanwhile, you got some preacher driving a Rolls Royce with pink glasses on. Yeah. You got another preacher trying to get a Movado watch while these babies being wiped out. You mad at me? You mad at Israelite School I.S.U.P.K? You mad at us because we, lay you out in the street on the evil that's going on. And that's why this is such a noble job, man. Such a noble thing to do. Give me some more, you died. Come on.
Connor Wakam, sir. Cervella, 72, is serving a 28-year prison sentence in Kentucky.
Like, why he ain't got life in prison for this? Why doesn't he have life in prison? Why didn't he get the death penalty for this, man? Go ahead, Doc.
Conor Khan. The other judge, Conan, 70, was sentenced to more than 17 years in prison.
How many years?
17 years in prison.
17?
17.
17 years in prison. 17 for all that. Go ahead.
But was released to home confinement in 2020 with 6 years left on his sentence because of the coronavirus pandemic.
So the 11 years went in, Corona hit, they sent his ass home. He on home confinement after 11 years. And let that be a black person that done anything as heinous as that with the authority of the state. They wouldn't give a damn if coronavirus came in or not. And this is why you got to help yourself. How you help yourself? Coming into the truth. The body of Christ is how you help yourself, not with some fool in some church somewhere, man. Go ahead, Doc.
You know, if I could real fast for your diary, like this falls to the hands of the Christian church. Like what Commander GEN.YAHANNA, GEN.YAHANNA, GEN.YAHANNA bringing out tonight, this falls in their lap. Like you out here looking at the cat with pink glasses on, a pink hat, talking about boxing deal hugely, and he got all the jewelry on. Another cat begging for Movado watch. This always going on in the ghetto. But they're not going down to the ghetto like the Bible says and putting a hedge of protection around the people. They know these things going on. This is what we're supposed to be protected from. This is supposed to be an outrage. Every so-called black, Hispanic, Native Indian leader should be bringing this to the forefront about what happened. But they're not. Because they're not for the people, man. They're not for us. And you see it right there. Like they don't care about what's going on with us. And them getting locked up, what kind of time do you really think they're serving in prison? Is it hard? No. They know they got them body. So they're in prison right now chilling, but catch they know. The COs, the bailiffs, they know everybody in the goddamn jail, the guards.
But if I could, like he brought out in the story, them juvenile prisons, some of them, most of them is first-time offenders. They never even been locked up before. So the trauma of being locked up as a child, this is even before they go into a criminal life. But as a baby, you know what I'm saying, 8 years old, you don't know you a baby. You know what I mean? You straight out, you just out of Pampers, like in the 3rd grade or something like that. You ain't supposed to be confined in a detention center with 14 and 15-year-olds. What kind of madness is that they doing? Come on, give me some more on that story. I don't want to finish because I want to get to, they got the victims in it. I wanted to all come out, man. How wicked this is. Go ahead.
Conor Khan. Conor ruled after hearing often emotional testimony from last year from 282 people who appeared in Luzerne County Juvenile Court between 2003 and 2008, 79 of whom were under 13.
79 babies. They wasn't even 13 years old, huh? 79. Little kids. Little kids. They locked up to enrich their pockets. And here's the thing. The state paid for all of this. The state paid the prison millions. The millions paid, the prison paid them millions. Why aren't they, where's the accountability for it? And that's why they don't respect this system. And why you got to pray to the Lord to wipe it out. Because, brother, they working against you. Once again, they doing so much secret evil to you. So much secret evil that you don't even know about. You didn't even know what this was about. Your kids getting locked up. They being snatched away from you. You don't even know what it's jaywalking. They going to jail. You didn't even know what was going on. It's damn ridiculous, huh? It's ridiculous. Give me more, you die. Give me more.
Conor Khan, sir. When Cervella sent them to juvenile detention and 32 parents, they recounted his harsh and arbitrary nature, his disdain for due process, his extraordinary abruptness and cavalier and boorish behavior in courtroom, Conor wrote.
He didn't give a damn about what was going on. Because this was a hustle. So this wasn't even really court to him. He just came in and, yeah, give him 2 years. Yeah, send him up for a year. Yeah, give him 5 years. Whatever. He didn't care about the law, due process, whether you had a lawyer. All he wanted to do is get them shackles on them babies and send them babies into them prison. Now, you got hundreds, thousands of brothers and sisters that's probably come back so messed up to this day from that. Come on, you die. Give me even more. A little bit more. I want to get to the end of this.
Conor Khan. One unnamed child victim testified that surveillance had ruined my life and just didn't let me get to my future, according to Connor.
Read that again.
Connor McCon. One unnamed child victim testified that surveillance had ruined my life and just didn't let me get to my future.
See that? Ruined his life and didn't let him get to his future. Give me some more.
Connor McCon, sir. Said another plaintiff, I feel I was just sold out for no reason. Like everybody just stood in line to be sold.
Damn. You heard what he said? Sold out. That's slavery. That in essence is slavery. And why aren't they charged with it as though it is? That in essence, you put these thousands of babies in slavery. So slavery still exists in America. You put these babies directly in slavery in them prisons, man. Which is ridiculous. Let me let him go. I'll come back to you. Go ahead. Come on. No, let me let you make your statement, Salaka, because it's probably real good, Morales.
No, if I could, sir. I know tons of brothers, man. You know, in courtroom, in court is a holding cell.
Right.
For all the brothers going to court. I remember all my homies used to tell me, like, man, brothers be in there talking about, man, what you think you gonna get? I don't know. Something, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get that. And then brothers, after they think what they're gonna get, they come back into that same cell,
right?
Hurt, ready to fight everybody. They ain't getting all type of years, and then it's just like one by one. That's what they say. Like you be in there, you be nervous, you be so nervous because you watching brothers go in and then come back out.
They going out thinking they're getting 3, come back and they got 10.
20, 30.
20, 30. Damn.
I got 2 friends that both got 20 to 40 years. One of them got double life. I don't even know what that means.
Damn.
But
that means you die and come back. They charge you. You still going to jail. That means if you in the jail, have a heart attack, the coroner say the nigga dead. But you pop back up, nigga, you going back to jail for another life sentence.
They charge the ghost.
They charge you right. Right, to show you how evil, and show you he believe in reincarnation because he believes, nigga, I'm gonna get you after you come back again. Somehow, I want you charged again. Like this man is a monster, man. You understand? And this life we live in is a monster. Okay, for the evil and hatred against us. So you done experienced it. You know what I'm talking about. Give me some more, you die, please.
Kind of one, sir. Another victim described how he shook uncontrollably during a routine traffic stop, a consequence of traumatizing
consequences.
A consequence of the traumatizing impact of the child's detention.
Now feel that for a minute. He said that in a traffic stop, he was shaking uncontrollably. Just in a traffic stop. Could have got shot by the cop from all that shaking, right or wrong. Could have been killed. He's shaking, and there's more to it. He's shaking uncontrollably because he's so traumatized from what happened to him as a baby. And then you wondering why niggas running from the cops, driving off, rather crash the car and almost kill themselves rather than have you take them into custody because of what the hell they done experienced. You treating them like they crazy, all they're animals, they're this, they're that. When meanwhile, look what you done did to them. Read the other half of what he said.
Conor McCon, sir, and had to show his mental health records in court.
He had to bring mental health records in court. Here's why. Break it down.
Conor McCon in court to explain why my behavior was so erratic.
To explain, because in other words, the cops obviously saying, well, I pulled my gun on him because he was shaking uncontrollably and I didn't know what he was going to do or why he was acting that way. And that's why I put the gun in his face, Your Honor. And so he got to bring his records in and say, Your Honor, I wasn't doing that because I was trying to harm the cop. I was shaking uncontrollably. Here's my medical records. I was traumatized as a child because they sent me to child jail. And I felt like when he pulled me over, he was going to send me to jail again. Like he had to bring his medical records in to explain. That's what happens to a baby. You put a baby, like them babies are our beautiful, wonderful babies from I.S.U.P.K and the other tribes in Mexico and Central and South America. You put them babies in them cages. All them babies that's in them cages, brother, is destroyed. Without serious therapy and serious home training and a father and a mother that love and care for each one of them babies is destroyed, and they gonna be your next inmates, gang bangers, drug addicts, drug dealers, murderers, whores, prostitutes. They're gonna be everything you love to have in an evil, wicked kingdom so you can make money off it. You gotta come up to the mic, God. Come on. You're gonna be everything that they want in a wicked kingdom, man. And these people's lives destroyed. And it's more than just poverty. Poverty just a part of it. It's the whole psychological destruction of God's chosen people, man. And you following some nigga in a Rolls Royce with pink glasses on. Go ahead,
It's like kids say, like, every time I see the cop, something bad happens.
Yeah.
That's what they say, yeah.
So you're already worried and concerned and traumatized. And especially as a child, when you get mishandled in a jail cell and told what to do, that takes away your ability to force your decision. Takes away your masculinity as a baby. You don't never mature like you should as a man. Or you mature, extremely violently because you can't take not being allowed to do whatever you want to do because of that same trauma. Either way, it's trauma. And either way, man, you messed the Lord's babies up, man. Which is why when Moses parted the Red Sea and the Egyptian army drowned in there, it is why God did it. Yeah. He did it for stuff like this. Give me some more, you die. As soon as he finishes. Go ahead. Read on, now. Read on. I'm going to come to him right now.
Colonel McCon, sir. Several of the childhood victims who were part of the lawsuit when it began in 2009 had since died from overdoses or suicide.
They saying it in the article. Died from overdoses and suicide from that trauma. From what they did to them, state-sponsored slavery. They died over it, man. You got more? Give me a little bit more. Just a little bit more. That's it? Go ahead.
Slack, sir, if I may. To calculate compensatory damages, the judge decided to each plaintiff was entitled to a base rate of $1,000 for each day of wrongful detention and adjusted the amount based on the circumstances of each case.
So in other words, he gave them pennies compared to what it is that they should have got. You know what I mean? Their life destroyed. He should have counted how many years going forward of their life that they was wiped the hell out. And that's where he should have compensated them at, and not at $1,000 a day. You understand? Like, and again, nobody else, 2 judges got locked up. Meanwhile, to run this scheme, you needed people in agencies, prison officials, all the people in the court with you. You understand? People that were transferring them funds, all of that. And meanwhile, none of them get locked up. Ain't none of them doing no time or nothing. Meanwhile, all our babies is back on the streets in the hood and drugged out, killing each other, suicide, all of that. Give me Kahan, the water. Oh, yeah, right. Got to do it up here. Hey, Shalom, Cat.
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Rakatah.
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Rakatah. Hold up, I'm trying to get the volume up for you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. General.
Can everybody out there hear us? Y'all give me a 1 if you can hear Captain Kahan as I go on. Y'all let me know. Go ahead, Op. What's happening, Cap? What's happening?
Everything to wild, General. I got Officer I.S.U.P.K from Alabama on the phone also, sir.
Big shout out to you, Warriors. Let's salute him in as well. Okay, Blackley said he could hear you. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm gonna let Officer I.S.U.P.K give a report of what happened this past weekend.
Okay.
With what happened in Alabama. For those who don't know, there was a racist check sent by some police officers in this town in Alabama, and a member of that community reached out to the I.S.U.P.K because they see the great works that you've done and how you raise men up in the school, General.
Most on Christ.
all the great work that you've done. So they reached out to the I.S.U.P.K. because they felt threatened. They felt threatened by the police department and the white races in that town. So, with the permission of General Muhammad, we got some brothers together, brothers from Atlanta under Captain Radazaya, brothers under Officer Thara, Officer Nashak, and Officer Naquam up there in Tennessee. They all came down to Alabama to lend support to the brothers in Alabama, Lahagan and Officer Picard. And I'm gonna let Lahagan tell you the rest what happened, sir. So go ahead, Lahagan. Khan, sir. So what happened was the officers were sending text messages to each other, and one of them asked them what was what would you call a pregnant slave? And the officer replied, "It's a BOGO, which means buy one, get one free."
Damn.
And they tried to Khan.
Wait a minute. Explain that to me one more time so everybody can get it.
Well, the officer sent another officer a text and asked him, "What is what would you call a pregnant slave?"
A pregnant slave. A pregnant slave. Okay.
And he said it's called a BOGO, buy one, get one free.
Damn. Go ahead. We'll show you how they think. And after this, I want y'all, just for everybody listening, after this, I want Kahan to tell you what happened to him in York, PA. He told me about this week. Go ahead. Go ahead, Doc. Salaga. I didn't mean to cut in on you. Go ahead, Doc.
You too, sir. They tried to cover it up, and the people of the community got outraged when they found out about it.
Yeah.
They were actually having to have a vote, like it was a decision to make. They were going to investigate the text messages. So Officer Picard's family actually lives in that area, and they reached out to him to have the I.S.U.P.K. come down and support them because they were trying to keep the officer's job. And so all the brothers from Atlanta and Tennessee and Alabama, we came down and showed solidarity to the people, and they appreciate it.
Most High Christ.
And they were trying to cover it up and just basically try to sweep it on the rug. And what we came asking them was, are you checking their arrest record? Because a lot of times in that area, the judges, when the people get tickets, they overcharging them. I know a brother personally who, for a no insurance ticket, they charged him $3,000.
Dang.
For a no insurance ticket. They basically doing whatever they want to do. So we were kind of bringing awareness to the institutional racism that goes on in those small towns where it's not a lot of black people, but it's enough of them to keep the town going. And we made sure they're not able to transfer to another city and all. And the people of that town really appreciated us showing up. They had never seen black men come in and supporting them. It was mainly just women there. It wasn't a lot of men there standing up speaking for this, and not a lot of young men at all. And they were just surprised to see that. There's other things going on in that area that we don't continue to try to keep on looking into. There's a lot of that going on, sir.
And where is this at exactly? What?
This is in Vincent, Alabama. It's probably about 45 minutes outside of Birmingham.
So can I give you some texture in this story?
Please.
This town is famous for being a word that they throw around today, but here's the real meaning of it. This town is prejudiced. They prejudge you in this town. You're judged before the court case. Last year, we did this story. This cop was laughing about how he had 13 justifiable homicides. And he was arguing with this black cop who secretly recorded the conversation saying, "You better obey me. I done killed 13 niggas and never got charged for it. Never got arrested. I know how to talk in court." And the brother recorded him. This town that they're talking about, the federal government came in because of this case and reviewed how many arrests they're making in this town. They said it's a town of 1,800 people. And according to the statistic, everyone in the town gets arrested at least once a year. Every single person in the town.
We'll show you.
That's how many arrests they have.
Damn, we'll show you. That's a plantation.
After this meeting, they disbanded the police force. After the brother left that meeting that they had right now.
If I could, while I got you on, let me read the story that came out on CNN in the news. If I could. It said the mayor of the small city of Vincent said the town couldn't legally fire police officers for exchanging racist text messages due to legal issues. So the city, 35 miles southeast of Birmingham, disbanded its entire police department instead. Big up to that town, brother. Big up to them. Damn, big up to them. Y'all brothers put it down there. Kahan, go ahead. Please, go ahead.
And this just goes to show for all the people who criticize us for being apolitical, meaning that we don't vote and so forth. But General, just by those men going down there doing their meeting, the people had the strength to vote to disband the police force.
Yes, they did. That's Most High Christ. That was amazing.
Under your watch, they got to put in action the democratic process under your watch.
Oh yeah.
So you sitting
Most High Christ.
And then, General, if I could say one thing, I spoke to some couple of community members. I'm trying to get them on the phone. They probably sleep now. But a brother had escorted women. Women were afraid to walk to their car after the meeting. Brothers escorted older women to their car because they were afraid. You know, and not only that, the town they welcome us with open arms. I mean, everything they want to let us use their baseball field. Even the pastors who down there, they had to recognize the I.S.U.P.K. and the strength and the uniformity that we had under your authority, sir. So I just want to say that.
Damn right, Most High Christ. Kahan, Most High Christ. And big shout out to General Muhammad, man, for working with y'all and getting y'all the okay to go down there and do such a mighty work. But you got to let me read this little portion of what y'all actually accomplished down there. Listen to this good. It says the Vincent City Council voted to adopt an ordinance to temporarily abolish its police department Thursday night after a 2-hour public hearing at the Vince Middle High School auditorium. Y'all went down there and convinced them to ban the po-po. Like, that's power right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all went down there and convinced them to throw the whole police force out, which was heavy as hell, because the truth is the truth is the truth. And ain't nothing nobody can say about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that town, I could imagine they was being terrorized. That was a plantation. That was an old school Alabama plantation. And I mean, I could imagine what they was under. With them numbers you just brought out, forget about it. Go ahead, Khan. I don't want to steal it. Go ahead. You was going to say something, General?
And me, if I could, Khan.
Khan, hang on 1 second, Khan.
Think
Hang
about
on
all of us. We're called prejudice if we don't want to date a white girl. You got towns down south up that will put you in jail because of the color of your skin. Like, you're going to do 10 years in jail, losing everything because they've already prejudged you guilty. Right in 2022. It's happening right now, but we're hated because we don't want to judge white girls.
Right.
We don't want to date a white woman. So we're prejudiced, but this town is allowed to do this. The same thing they were doing in slavery to do it today. That's prejudice right there. All of these stories, they prejudge you. You're going to jail because you're black. Salaki Kahan.
Yes, sir, General. And I just want to say something too, just in compare and contrast. You look at these other groups out there that are saying they want to defund the police. Well, under Command and General Yohanna, they disbanded the police.
Yeah.
Come Yashala. Damn right. Under y'all hard work.
They didn't defund the police. They disbanded the police. The one of them folks came down there that morning. It was another news source down there. They saw it. They saw the men come in and saw the people gain courage. And courage is courageous. And that's what they saw when they saw the men you sent down there, General. And we want to thank you for that, sir.
Through the grace and mercy of the Most High. Big shout out to General Muhammad. Big shout out to you as well, Kahuntum, y'all, and all the brothers that was down there with y'all, man. Y'all put it down something ridiculous. And you know what? And the people needed it so bad. Like, they living on a plantation, being terrorized, arrested, you understand, by these cops, man, and being abused. Like, how much longer do we got to be abused, man? You know what I mean? Before, we get a modicum of decency and self-respect with what is going on and happening to us every day. You know what I mean? So it was so right that happened, man. All praises and all credit go to Yahweh Shai for watching over us and doing just like the Lord said. When your ways please him, you understand, he'll deal with them enemies, man. He'll make peace. He'll make them enemies be at peace with you. And it's peaceful down in that town right now. Because every white supremacist, I can imagine what it must feel like to come out your house and get in your car down there in that town. You must be scared to death that you're going to get pulled over, locked up, charged, fined, you understand? And they love to have it that way. And that's exactly what happened in Ferguson, Missouri. Ferguson, Missouri, they was doing the exact same thing to black people up there. And black people couldn't take it no more. And the Michael Brown murder is what created the mess that took place in Ferguson. And they were so appalled in Ferguson that a police officer pulled an AR-15 on Don Lemon of CNN, knowing who the hell he was, to where other officer had to pull him back and say, yo, whoa, because they were so angry that the town had risen up against them. And that's what Esau hate. He hate when you come together and put a stop to his madness. And the reason it has to happen is because he has no self-control. If Donald Trump and the rest of these white supremacists get back in power, brother, you're going to see them you think what they did at the Capitol was something. What they did at the Capitol is nothing compared to what they're going to do to every black institution you could think of. You understand? They're going to go off in this empire because that is what they made of the most. They made of their hatred of us. They're built on their hatred of us. Their legacy is on their hatred of us. That happened. I'm not surprised that happened in the state of Alabama, a state that has a historical record of extreme violent abuse of blacks and Latinos. That's one of the main states that people were lynched all over the damn state. People went missing, all types of murders by police officers for hundreds of years. And you think by now these Edomites would say, well, we're in a new time. We need to deal with things a little differently now. Not at all. Not at all. This is a place. And here's the thing that blacks and Latinos don't understand. White people make money off of you. That's why you're here. You're here for them to get paid. And you don't understand that, which is why you keep falling victim. And that goes for you drug dealers as well. You fall victim because you don't understand that you are being used by the slave masters. But thanks to Yahawashi, our king, brothers have woken up. And brothers like General Muhammad and brothers like I.S.U.P.K and all of them amazing brothers, Matabar and them brothers that's with y'all down there, because you're awake, you know what to stand up for. You know what to push forward with and what to bring forth for the Lord's will. And brother, blacks and Latinos in that town are sleeping for the first time without terrifying fear in their hearts. And I ain't going to be surprised if the Edomites come up with some way, because they done all lost that money now. They was getting so much. Could you imagine how much they was getting for the job and how much they was getting under the table for the abuse? Because all the abuse ain't come out yet. You can best believe all them fines going through. We just read what they did to the babies in Pennsylvania. So you can best believe that all them arrests ain't go through them courthouses unabridged without somebody getting a check. Somebody looking at all these arrests and saying, this is a little excessive here. What's going on? There's only 2,000 people in this town. Why is everybody getting arrested all of a sudden? They ain't doing that and not saying to themselves, you understand that, somebody's in there getting paid. And that's why this happened. Here's what the Moth said. Big shout out to the Moth out in Milwaukee, man, grinding it out. Him and his stormtroopers out there. Big shout out to them. Big shout out to Captain Mauer Quad in Chicago. Let me tell you something. It was not me that called all camps together, but Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai said all camps come together, man. And y'all brothers are coming together and standing up for the truth, and you changing Black America before their eyes. You just disbanded the police. You disbanded the police through the grace and mercy of the Lord. This is glorious tonight, brother. This is a glorious night. Here's what go ahead. Hold on one second. Let me just read this real quick. Don't lose that thought, though. Matter of fact, let me let you make your point. I don't want you to lose that thought. Go ahead, Warrior.
Oh, no, what I was just going to say, so what you just said was so heavy, because when I asked them at the hearing, about what they were going to do about the fine that they find in the wrongdoing. After he gave me some half-ass answer about it, they weren't taking any more questions. They shut the question part
Damn.
of the thing down.
Ain't that something?
So they definitely hired some.
Yeah, because of course, if you start questioning them, then you're gonna start asking, well, what did the city council say? What did the judges say when they saw all these cases coming in here? And was there any complaints of who's the prosecutor? What role did he have in all of this? Let's check his bank account. Let's check his wife's bank account. Let's check his children's bank. Like if you start the ball rolling, so much filth might roll out. You understand?
Following the money.
Right. You know what I mean? Like, go ahead. Go ahead.
Earlier when I was talking to the brothers and the people down there, sister called the school also today to thank us. The whole town thanks you and I.S.U.P.K for what we've done.
Right.
And I was thinking about, you know how when U.S. talks about free and fair elections in other countries,
Yeah.
when they talk about, you know, when they go to Afghanistan, they want to ensure the vote, so they send in UN monitors to monitor the vote.
Yeah.
It was reminiscent of that, gentlemen. Just seeing the brothers go in, it was like they were ensuring that the people had a voice.
Wow. Wow.
It was like a UN peacekeeper going in to make sure that there were free and fair elections.
Wow. Wow. So they had the brothers had to go in there to make sure that the city council felt free enough to disband the daggone police. Because otherwise, them Edomites would have, scared the hell out of them, and they might have backed off the decision. But having the brothers there, help move the thing forward. Like, brother, that's amazing. Let me just read the Baal statement. Give it up for him, y'all. Give it up for him. Salaki. The Baal said, he said, Shalom, sir. When I was 16, living in Birmingham, Alabama, 97% of the Birmingham police force were literally white skinheads with bald skinheads. They tried to murder my little brother, and the community stood against them. Man, big shout out to the Baal out in Milwaukee, officer of the Baal out in Milwaukee, building that camp out there. And see, once again, let me explain something to y'all out there. We don't have a personal hatred against the police. We ain't on some crusade to get rid of the police. We ain't on none of that. But the judgment of the evil that you do, you need to pay for it. You need to pay for the abuse. We certainly pay for it. We going to jail like you got free chicken in there. You understand? So we suffering under it. Why aren't they suffering under it when they do so much heinous evil acts with the authority to do those acts because they have a badge on them? You mean your life, they have the authority over your life. And for them to be this brutal and this senseless and this evil towards the Lord's chosen people, like, is just not acceptable. You understand? And something must be done about it. Something must be done because, once again, like, we are dying every day out here, and from so many avenues that's being used against us, so many avenues that is traumatizing us and breaking us apart and destroying our families and wiping out our men and putting us into poverty and drugging us up and just decimating us as a people, man. Y'all brothers is doing an excellent job on that, man. That was a big deal out there in Alabama, man. I want to congratulate y'all, man, for being that strong. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to all. What cities? Give me the cities again. What cities came together?
Alabama.
Big shout out to Alabama.
Atlanta came down.
Big shout out to Atlanta. Okay, came all the way down. All right, go ahead.
Chattanooga and Nashville, Tennessee.
Big shout out to them roughnecks in Chattanooga and Nashville. Them some roughnecks out there in Tennessee, man. They don't play. Some bad cats. They stood up to the whole purple passion when they came through there. You know what I mean? So big shout out to them. Go ahead, who else?
Joe, we just, like I said, we just the water for your leadership, General. The water for your inspiration.
Thanks for
giving these men, raising us up under Christ, man. It just,
damn right, brother. Damn right.
See it happen, and the media, even though they don't want to give us the attention that we deserve, they saw it. They were witness. They witnessed how the atmosphere changed down there. Allah Gun went down there, did an excellent job. Pecan, all the brothers from Atlanta. I'm gonna get all their names, but all the brothers from Tennessee that came down. It was a beautiful thing, man. They answered the call, Jim.
Most High in Christ. That was a beautiful thing. Well done. Great job, Akim, man. In the name of Yahweh, man, and the hard work that all y'all brothers put in. Big shout out again to General Muhammad, man. Orchestrating it with y'all, man, and making it happen. And you as well, Kahan. Kahan, you like a juggernaut, man. You open up so many camps, man. I don't know what to do with you, man. You busting camps out every time I talk to you. Yeah, we opening a new camp over here. It's like a daily occurrence with you, man. You know what I mean? Do you ever sleep? I know your rib gonna put in a complaint on you in a minute. She's about to call for a counsel because I know you ain't home like you supposed to be. You everywhere bringing this truth out. So big shout out to you as well. Go ahead.
I couldn't do it without the men above me and the men that all the brothers in the cities, man. I mean, they laid my eyes and ears and my arms and legs in these cities, man. And they coming through strong, Joe. We only getting stronger.
Most High in Christ. Damn right.
Now the brother, one of the community members, he's trying to call it now. I didn't know if it was too late, but he wanted to call and we just got him on the phone.
Yeah, go up. Can you bring him in? Merge him in?
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can get him in. I'm going to hang up. I'm going to hang up with Laha Gun. I'm going to see if I can call him and get him right in.
All right. All right. Go ahead. I'm gonna pull a scripture while you're doing that. Go ahead. Yes, sir. All right. The water. All right. Give me number. Oh, I hear the phone beeping. Oh, is that?
It's hanging up, he said.
Oh, okay. Numbers 14:31 for me, please. 31 to 33. I got to read this one for you. This is one of the keys on how we're going to get about this hell. This is one of the keys in everything that we're talking about tonight. One of the small keys, huh? Go ahead, Marat, please.
If I can add before you go into your scripture, just to add on it. This ain't nothing great like how they did. Just to show you that racism is real in America.
John, I forgot about that.
York, PA, I was doing my slavery, and I'm at the stoplight, and all I heard is nigger, and a car riding past me at the stoplight.
That's like from the 50s. Yeah. It's like from the 50s back again. That's what Donald Trump pulled up.
Unbelievable.
He back on? Okay.
And that matches with that brother who got hung, Bluebell, PA, and they said it was a suicide.
Right.
Because when I talked to somebody from York, PA, and I was like, damn, I guess you get hung out here. They said, no, you got to go to Downingtown. That's where you're going to get hung.
Damn. You know what I mean? Damn. You know what I mean? And let me tell you something if I could. I'm coming to you now, Kahan. Let me tell you something if I could. They have strategically put us in these cities and turned them into plantation. Meanwhile, all your food comes from the surrounding areas. The food ain't grown in the city. It's illegal to grow food in the city and have farm. The food is grown right outside the city. So they got control over the cities while you piled up in the cities. They out on the sprawling lands ruling everything around you. And when they get ready, they can just cut off the food or whatever. You know what I mean? So we back on with Captain Kahan Thumyad of the Israelite School of UPK, holding it down in Alabama. And he says he has a guest on with him. Go ahead, take it from there, Kahan. Introduce the brother.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the head of our organization, Commander General.
Hey, how you doing? My name is Robert Franklin.
Nice to meet you, brother. Go ahead.
Nice to meet you too. Nice to meet you.
Tell us, if you could, brother, what happened down there?
Well, basically what happened was we had a couple officers here that put some texts out that was really, it wasn't called for. It was about our black women being pregnant and by them buying one,
getting one,
buy one get one free. Yeah.
Okay. But
so as a result of that, the community came together and we wanted those officers gone off the force.
Right. But they couldn't get rid of them, correct?
Not legally. Yeah, that's what they say. Legally couldn't fire them or suspend them or anything. Couldn't get rid of them without disbanding the police department.
So they stood up and disbanded the whole department.
Yes, they did.
Give it up for them, that was strong. Let me ask you a question. Tell me from your own. You live in the town, correct, Vincent?
Yes, I do.
Okay, from your own words, what was it? What's it like living in Vincent up until this banning? What was that like? In interacting with the police, interacting with people, what was that like?
Everybody pretty much knows everybody, okay? Black and white.
Okay.
Police officers every day, and it was a cool thing living here because you felt you know by knowing those guys, you felt somewhat comfortable. You felt real comfortable with them, and other people around you feel comfortable with. But as a result of that, yeah, it put some tension in the air. It put a lot of tension in there. And
what caused that tension in the air again?
With those officers making those comments.
Oh, it put tension in the air in the town.
And everybody has their own ideas and beliefs, or some didn't want to think that it was that serious. Of course, it was the whites in the town didn't want to believe that it was that serious. We were taking it too far. But, you know, their grandparents or great-grandparents that came from where I came from and gone through what I went through, they would feel the same way.
That you absolutely right. So they had their perspective. You all had your perspective.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So
we had to take a stand. We had to stand up, take a stand to do what was necessary, not just for the ones that's living now, for the kids coming up. You know, the future of our kids.
Like that's so the right way to think. I had a question for you. What about the reports that almost everybody in that town gets arrested at least once a year by these racist cops?
Several of them. Well, let me back up. I ain't gonna say that they get arrested at least once a year, but they do have some kind of interaction with them. Okay, there are times to where they'll pull you over. Well, not all of them. There was only 3 cops here. Okay, and it basically really. It was one officer in particular that was causing the problem. He was the officer that sent the text out. You know, he wanted to flex his muscle or his authority or whatever.
And is it true?
You know, I'm in charge here. You know,
is it true that he had 13 murders on his belt?
Now that I don't know. No, I don't know about. I can't say that he did. I didn't hear that until this came out. I can't say whether he did or didn't.
I got you. So it could be true, and the bodies just haven't been discovered yet.
Exactly. Because it came out that he and his father are racist. They disowned his sister and his father's daughter because of a black man.
Say that again.
Because he and his father both disowned his sister, and that's his father's daughter. They disown her, don't claim her anymore because of a black man. Now I didn't know that.
Oh, so he's running around the town. He's running around the town mad as hell that his sister wanted some chocolate in her milk.
You already know. You already know.
Jungle fever at its best. See,
that's just the way it is. It's so much of that going on. We got so many interracial couples and mixed race kids because the ratio of the black to one, well, the white to one is overwhelming. So there's not a whole lot of. As what one guy told me that there's not enough white guys for the girls to choose from that's suitable, like that they think would be, you know,
suitable.
There's a lot of snuff dipping.
So
type, you know.
I got you. And so the new up and coming, let me get this right. The new up and coming white girls don't want a redneck, and so there's not enough regular up and coming white men to fill the void. So they go get a brother.
Yeah, it was that way when I was in school. They used to sneak out of their homes and go tell their parents they're going to spend the night with that friend. That friend would tell their parents they're going to spend the night with that other friend. And what they do, they go get their brother for the weekend. And, you know, so and it's been going on
since slavery.
Quite a while. But right now, it's more openly now than it was years ago. And, of course, you know, these older white gentlemen around town, They don't like it, but they can't do nothing about it.
I see. They see the jungle fever, and it's pissing them off.
Oh man, it always have. It always have.
I got you.
You know, I would like for you to see it for yourself.
I cannot wait to visit the brothers down there and see it. Let me ask you a question. I got a question in from the audience. Makwadash has a question, and they said, "What is the climate like after this judgment has passed and the police force have been banned?" What they're asking, what is it like? What is the vibe now?
There's not a whole lot been spoken about it. I'm pretty sure it's private. They held a privately meeting when I call it KKK meetings where they have breakfast at Jackson openly. You know, they don't go and they hide in there anymore and have their meetings. They have them open, and you might go in a Jackson for breakfast and see 5 or 6 older white gentlemen sitting at a table for breakfast. I call that their KKK meeting.
I got you. Now, thanks for that, because I know now when I go to Alabama, if I see a Jack's, if I walk in the Jack's and I see 5 or 6 of them sitting at the table, I ain't gonna be fooled. I just gotta imagine the white hood.
They doing it now. You know, they whipping with the pens and paper now. You know, the doctors and the lawyers and such. But there's not a lot been spoken about it, to be honest. Not to me anyway.
Not yet. Now it had the reaction of it hasn't spilled out yet. Everybody's just trying to be cool and not let the whole town come apart. And let me ask you this question. Okay. And let me ask you this: have they talked about how they're gonna replace the police force? Like, what are they gonna just hire new people, or what's the plan?
Right now, the county police officers are in place to patrol Vincent. Okay, but boy, at least 1 year, it'll be like that for at least 1 year before they can start another hiring process. But the thing now is that the mayor said that. They have to, well, and I'm pretty sure they do, they have to screen and do this thing it's going to take a long time for the applicants to find the right people. But see, our mayor is also a policeman in another town also. So I'm waiting to see myself if he's going to try to place one of those officers as a policeman in the town that he polices already.
I understand.
If I could, Joe.
Go ahead.
You know, I could just put an application, just say it's a new sheriff in town.
God.
That's
it. That's it. God. Yo, man. They sure can't. They sure can't. Well, listen, I'm running over the time. I'm gonna let y'all go ahead, man. It was beautiful talking with you, brother, and it was very courageous what y'all brothers did out there, man. You know what I mean? And big shout out to Captain Kahan and all the brothers, man, that did that hard work. Big shout out to General Muhammad as well.
I want to ask you a question. Did you get the pictures that I sent to my nephew? Did he also send them to you? Oh, yeah, we got the pictures. We're gonna send them out.
They got to send them up to you.
That was in that picture, man. The people of this town, man, they really welcome you. They was kind of scared and skeptical at first because you're scared of what you don't know or whatever, who you don't know or what you don't know. But afterwards, after the speech and after the talk that the guy made, man, everybody was glad that you guys showed up, and we welcome you back anytime.
Damn right, damn right. We work very hard in the UPK, and I particularly work extremely hard to keep this brotherhood together and intact, and to teach these brothers the way that they ought to raise up. And I got an amazing team with me: General Muhammad, General Ma'aka'ala, General Hazayan, who are all here with me. Great teachers, great generals. Also, General Shalmar, General Kubala Math, General Katham Gabar. Who did I miss? Somebody. No, and myself. Right, that's the 7. And we got other amazing captains. I just wanted to get that on the record, man. But it was nice talking to you, Warrior. I'm going to let you go. Captain Kahan, keep in touch. Let us know what's happening out there. Y'all be safe. And we'll talk to y'all again soon, all right? All right. Call that salute.
Brock. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai Barakatah.
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Barakatah. All right, Warrior. Shalom. I got to get one scripture in. Y'all I've been wanting to pull this scripture on this whole situation. You got Numbers 14:31 for me? I'm going to read these scriptures and then we're going to get ready to make our move. Go ahead, Doc.
Khan, the book of Numbers, chapter 14 and verse 31. But your little ones, what ye said, should be a prey.
Listen to this. This is the Lord speaking. He said, your little ones, which ye said shall be a prey. This was one of the excuses we used to try to go back into Egypt. Our little babies, we got to take care of our babies. You cannot be afraid for your children when it comes to doing what the Lord said. You got to go forward like the Lord said to go forward, because if you don't, we're going to continue to die in these juvenile prisons and all these situations, being dragged out. I got tons of stories. Big shout out to Napata's on his team. I'll be bringing them out during the week, because one brother, 14 years old, some cop, all he was doing was admiring this Edomite's bike. And the Edomite cop tried to brutalize this kid. It was so reminiscent of an Emmett Till story where he was going to kill this kid, man. Had his knee in his back, 14 years old, and terrorized this kid. They eventually fired, all because he was looking at the Edomite's bike. So, of course, the Edomite looked at him like, you're going to steal the bike. Donald Trump has done a very evil thing to blacks and Latinos. He has galvanized white people's racism against us. And they are full of anger and fury and want to hell down on blacks and Latinos. And you better wake the hell up and get away from them preachers, man, because you sleep on the game. Give me some more. So we was afraid for our little ones. Here's what God said. Go ahead,
Colonel McCann, sir. Them will I bring in, and they shall know the land which ye have despised.
And the Lord said, now this is in the wilderness with Moses. And the Lord said, I'm going to bring them in the land. And they're going to know the land that you despise, the one that I've been trying to bring you in and bring you into this truth. That land, I'm going to bring your children in there. But you, I'm going to let you stay out there because you despise this land. You despise what I'm trying to give you. And that's how a lot of you are with this truth. The Lord trying to bring you into this truth, man, and get you to get ready to get up out of here for the Third World War. But you despise this truth. You love a pink glasses wearing preacher, and it's going to be your downfall. Read on out.
But as for you, your carcass, they shall fall in this wilderness.
Your carcasses shall fall in this wilderness. The Lord says, for you who hated this land, you're going to die out here in this wilderness, which we did. 40 years we spent in that wilderness. Okay? 40 years. Going from tent to tent to tent to tent and traveling through that wilderness. We all died up in there. Go ahead.
Verse 33. And your children shall wander in the wilderness 40 years and bear your whoredoms.
And you hear what the Lord said? Bear your whoredoms. Meaning, the more we don't serve the Most High, our children bear that wickedness, man. Our children bear. When you getting high, being a criminal, doing wickedness against the Lord, being an alternative lifestyle, supporting abortion, all the things the Lord said not to do, your children are the one got to bear the brunt of the mess that you create. They got to bear that mess now. If you be right with the Most High, then them children wouldn't have nothing to bear. It would all come together right, and they could be right, but they got to bear the whoredoms of the parents. Go ahead,
until your carcasses be wasted in the wilderness.
Yeah, with the Lord. The Lord is vicious, man. He said, man, your children going to have to bear your whoredoms, meaning they're going to have to live with you being a mess from the way you lived in Egypt until you all die off, and then your children will be able to live righteously. And that's what's going to happen. This generation we in right now, they coming up against the system and against their parents and against the way of life and against these preachers and against these imams. And we coming up against it because we as the children coming up now realize our parents was off as hell, not following what the Lord said. And now we're going to start to follow what the Lord said. We're going to start to do what he said. Now, I got to give you David. One more, Psalms 137 and 9. David, he was furious over it, over what has went on. And this is why, when you start reading about them stories like them children in Pennsylvania and what is going on with these different situations under these preachers, all the child molestation that go on in church like it's normal, like it's damn normal. And more child molestation going on with little boys now than little girls. You turning every little boy into a homosexual. And listen, and they love it that way. They love it that way. Okay? I couldn't get to this story either. Again, big shout out to the Napatazar. They cut off funding for a flood zone in one of them cities out on the West Coast. Guess why? Because they would not stick to the abortion rules. They wanted abortion so bad that the city, whoever issues the money said, hell no, we're gonna cut your money off. That's how bad they wanted to keep killing our babies. They didn't want to stop for nothing. Okay, so much that has to come out, man. Okay, I wanted to also too. I'm gonna bring these stories out during the week though. The brothers, the Latino brothers, all these Latino prisoners, man, that went and fought them fires in California and Arizona and all that, they all promised them jobs when they finished and they got out of and they finished firefighter school and all that, and they done held all of them back from all their jobs. They ain't stopping them. They fighting them from getting into and getting them jobs, man. And listen, and they said now they're making a big stink because they need so many firefighters now. The whole damn West Coast is on fire. So they need firefighters so bad that now they're arguing, why won't you hire these brothers when they was already fighting the fire? Then even after they fought the fires, they had to go to school to get certified. They got certified, and the Edomites won't even give them a job, even though they short hundreds of firefighters in each city, and the place is burning up like crazy. They still won't hire these Latino brothers. We'll show you what kind of monster we're dealing with. Give me David's statement, because David understood this well, battling these nations, battling Israel, battling everything that he had to deal with. Go ahead.
Khan. Psalm chapter 137 and verse 9.
Come on.
Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones.
Hey, join me this weekend, New York City, Times Square, throwing it down with Captain Tazar with the heavy hitters in the building. This the I.S.U.P.K. Black Watch. We do it up every Monday night live in the building. Join us. I got Officer Marah, Officer Yadiah in their team. Officer Nakar, always messing the car name up at 11 o'clock. I'm done at 11 o'clock. Oh, Officer Nakar in the building with us, man. General Hazayan also in the building. I'll see y'all next time live on the UBK, fam. Shalom.
Just make sure it comes back out like that.
Okay, cool. Everyone got goggles?
Y'all good?
Sweet gun, man. What gun is that?
It's an AK-47. Awesome carry handgun. Most of us carry legal handguns.
Oh, I see. Is that like a security thing?
Yeah, for self-protection.
Yeah, yeah.
Stigma is always, if there are guns, then black people must be doing something wrong. Even the producer, he innocently did it, but he innocently said to the guy at the counter, oh, these guys are good. It's an innocent thing, but it is the perception that is always coming down on black people. We're the criminals, we're the thieves, we're the bad guy. It's almost as though being black, you can't legally carry guns.
How do you think that stigma affects young black men in America?
Like any oppression affects any man. If I shove you every day, if every day you see me, I shove you, and I shove you, and I shove you, after a while, what are you gonna do?
Shove back.
I see you pretty good on that target too.
Hey, my first rodeo, man.
Yeah.
I was hoping you would crook it.